strategic weapons program. Financially or ideologically motivated non-state actors are becoming more bold, with ransomware groups shifting to faster, high-volume attacks that are harder to identify and mitigate. Innovation in the field of artificial intelligence will likely accelerate the threats in the cyber domain. It will increasingly shape cyber operations, with both cyber operators and defenders using these tools to improve their speed and effectiveness. For example, in August of 2025, cyber actors used an AI tool to conduct data extortion against international government, healthcare, and public health emergency service sectors and religious institutions. Shifting to the Arctic, the IC assesses that Russia, and to a lesser extent China, aim to strengthen their presence in the region through increased maritime trade, natural resource extraction, and military activity. Russia, which has the longest coastline in the Arctic, has long sought recognition of its quote-unquote polar great power status and is deploying more military forces and building new permanent infrastructure. China, though not an Arctic country, is engaged in more limited efforts in the region to advance its strategic and economic interests. On the technology front, artificial intelligence capabilities are rapidly advancing and changing the threat landscape. As this is a defining technology that enables computers and machines to simulate human learning, comprehension, problem-solving, creativity, and autonomy, it'll be critical to ensure that humans remain in control of how AI is used and of the machines that may threaten to autonomously violate the interests of the American people across all domains. The IC assesses that China is the most capable competitor in this field and aims to displace the U.S. as the global AI leader by 2030. AI adoption at scale across the spectrum of usage poses serious risks. AI has the potential to aid in weapons and systems design and has been used in recent conflicts to influence targeting and streamline decision-making, underscoring the risk and likely threats that could manifest on the battlefield. Early developers in quantum computers will give countries an extraordinary technological advantage over others to quickly process national security information and break current encryption methodology used to protect sensitive finance, healthcare.
Welcome home to theDove TV, encouraging and informative. More at theDove.us.
Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. This is Jerry Bilden's Happy Hour.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Some's are at 5 in the afternoon, but no, his is right here early in the morning.
Everything's firing. We're all here in our places. We're
go.
going to have a nice day out there. By the way, will it or won't it hit 80 today in the valley?
You know, it's going to get real close.
It is. We're calling 79, but I've heard others call for 80, so we're right at that borderline, and we're a little early, aren't we?
Yeah, and then it will kind of back down as we head towards the weekend.
Yeah.
Anyway, good stuff. Tomorrow will be the first day of spring.
That's right.
Yeah, officially.
Yeah, it's not summertime yet.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
So we're moving our location tomorrow.
Where are we going?
We won't be broadcasting from this cabin site looking...
we're closing the cabin up for the winter? For the spring?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're moving to another one.
Okay.
So you'll see it tomorrow.
Can we go to the beach or something?
That's down the road.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
we'll move around, but don't let me forget to tell you where to drive to tomorrow.
Yeah, please.
I hate to have you show
give
up
me
here.
directions, yes.
Yeah. I hate to have you show up here and we're somewhere else.
Hey, shoot me the link. I'll just have
there you go.
my phone bring me there.
You go.
All right.
All right. Happy Thursday to you. A lot in the news. We'll have that for you coming up. What do you got?
You know, we need to add a little humor to our day. It is National Let's Laugh Day.
All right.
Yeah, whatever tickles your funny bone, I hope it tickles you today. And especially as you're sitting, at the intersection and the light turns green and the guy in front of you doesn't go.
He's on his phone.
Yeah.
She's on his phone. She's putting on
Hey,
makeup.
just
He's on
laugh
the
it
phone.
off. Yeah. It doesn't matter you're late for work or your doctor's appointment
Just
or
tap
whatever.
him a little bit.
Just give him a love tap. Yeah, love tap. And then laugh it off.
Yeah.
All right. It's also, you like this, it's National Ag Day, recognizing and celebrating the abundance provided by agriculture across the United States. And you have said more than once, people need to learn, especially young people learn, that their food doesn't come from
Safeway. Or Albertsons.
Or Albertsons.
Or Costco.
Or Ray's. Or
Costco.
Or Costco.
Sherm's or Thunderbird.
Yes.
No, food comes from a farm and a ranch somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So National Ag Day, celebrated. Also, a good day for this, National Backyard Day. With the weather getting nice, obviously, it's our own little private sanctuaries, our backyards, you know, and some people go to great extents to decorate, maintain, you know, with the horticulture and all the gardening that goes on. But today is National Backyard Day, and you got a good day for it.
Okay, I have a little, well, I'll tease you on that coming up.
All right. Okay.
I got something for you backyarders.
Okay.
Coming up.
Also, National Certified Nurses Day. So don't hurt yourself in the backyard when you're working back there, because you may need a nurse later in the day. And I got to say, you know, we value nurses, especially if you're plugged into the healthcare system for any reason at all. We value nurses. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Also, it is National...
You need a new boot. That's really ugly and it's starting to stink.
Not only that, but this boot has got a bladder in it. It's an air bladder, so it's got a pump, and so you pump it up and it supports around your broken leg, and it does all that stuff. Well, I've worn this thing. I have so many miles on this boot now. I don't think they're designed to go over a year, and I'm on a year on this thing. I blew out the bladder. It won't pump up anymore.
Well,
pump up the bladder.
It's really ugly. And it's starting to stink. Hey, Pam, Pam, set it outside at night, will you? I'll guarantee you, even a raccoon will pass it by.
Here's how Pam would set it out at night.
Oh,
there it goes.
There it goes.
All right. It's also National Poultry Day. Eggs and turkey bacon for breakfast, open-faced turkey avocado sandwich, then perhaps finish off the day with a good old-fashioned fried chicken dinner. Yeah, it is National Poultry Day. And we didn't have that picture. Did you guys have that picture?
The fried chicken.
How we celebrate Poultry Day? No.
Okay. You know, the other one is, who grows the chickens for Costco?
Oh, they do. They grow their own.
They do?
Yeah.
They have their own chicken farm?
They have a facility that is unbelievable.
Really?
Oh, you know, Costco, they do a lot of chickens. You know, do they make their own toilet paper too?
Well,
because
toilet paper,
what do they sell more of? Chickens or toilet paper?
Well, you both need them. I mean, if you buy one, you'll need the other.
Moving on, it is National Chocolate Caramel Day.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yes. What's not to like here? Oh, my gosh. Now, while Milton Hershey receives a lot of credit for making chocolate caramel popular, he made his living making caramel first.
Oh, gosh.
Recipes for chocolate caramels existed as early as the 1880s. About the same time, the first mass-produced chocolate bar became available, of course, Hershey's. In 1893, the World's Columbian Exposition came to Chicago, and Hershey's fascination with an exhibit featuring machinery for the production of German chocolate became apparent. He was so fascinated that he purchased the equipment. Soon he was producing chocolate bars, many of which included his company's bedrock ingredient, caramel. And we're watching some caramels come off the little line there.
Well, listen,
I'll take them.
I'll have to give you a plug to my favorite, and that is double caramels from C's.
Oh.
The only problem with C's,
what?
And it's nothing negative against them, other than their prices had to go up because of everything.
Well, and that's all going on again.
You can go to Sherm's and the prices go up.
Speaking of prices going up, I have to do my first fill up today since we've seen all this thing really ran. Diesel. I'm bracing myself for my diesel run today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's but anyway, the double caramels from C's are to die for.
Let's look at the positive.
They are to die for. And I have to savor every little bite, and I think I have 4 left.
Oh.
Hidden somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, in this building?
No. No, I would never. Bring it here?
Yeah.
You kidding? Gosh, no.
Okay,
I have to hide it from myself.
Enjoy. Yeah, we're going to see you later, and you're going to be like, what do you have in your mouth? Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Gosh, they're just wonderful. They're just.
I agree.
They're just wonderful.
I agree.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Okay. Well, boy, a lot going on there. Here's a guy who's looking for a new boot. We'll be right back.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, a mild but unsettled day with a chance of rain and mostly cloudy. Highs reach into the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with a light south wind. Moving down the Willamette Valley, partly sunny, then a slight chance of showers for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs in the upper 60s. Partly sunny in Eugene with a high in the low 70s. It's warmer, brighter, and breezy in central Oregon with partly sunny skies over Prineville, Bend, and Sun River and highs in the low to mid-70s. Over in Boise, Idaho, mostly sunny with a high near 79. Along the Oregon coast, partly sunny in Coos Bay with a high near 70. Mostly sunny skies from Port Orford and Brookings with highs in the low 60s through Crescent City, California with a high near 67. In southern Oregon, warm weather continues for the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin with sunny to mostly sunny skies, highs in the low 80s for Grants Pass and Medford and upper 70s in Ashland and Klamath Falls. Into northern California with sunny skies from Wairika with a high in the low 80s through Redding, Chico, and Sacramento with temperatures moving up into the low 90s and low in the upper 50s. Around the Bay Area, sunshine and heat continue, especially inland. Santa Rosa and Napa will see highs in the low 90s. San Francisco reaches the upper 80s under sunny skies, and the high in San Jose will be near 94. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
There's a picture of our backyard before the sun's fully up, and a lot of lights out. A nice day in the making, and even that guy who just gave us the weather said, Jerry, it was going to be 80.
Yeah, how about that?
So, okay.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to bump there. I think it's going to make it. But, we're seeing it right around that cut. That's one of the things about weather that really is kind of a saving grace. It's not an exact science, is it?
Well, no, it's subject to God's finger.
It is, yeah. That's right. You spin it, we try measure it. That's right. Good point. All right. Well, when it comes to submission, I don't think in our human condition, oftentimes we're really eager to submit to things. But here is a great bit of encouragement with Bayless Connolly asking the question, why would I want to submit to Christ?
So why do I want to submit to Christ? Why? I mean, as a member of the church. And honestly, I long to hear his next instructions for me. God, speak to me through your word. Show me what to do. I want to submit. Why is that? Well, he always has time for me. He never says, look, I'm too busy. He's always been kind to me, even when I haven't deserved it. He's always honest. He doesn't throw my past failures in my face. I've been saved almost 50 years. The Lord has never said to me one time, you always do this. Never said that once. Never reminded me of my past failings. He's forgiving. He provides security, protection, unconditional love, and come what may, I always know he has my best interest at heart. And when a husband loves his wife like that, and she has a genuine relationship with the Lord, submission really is not an issue at all.
Well, there you go. Think about this. I read this scripture last night, and I'll paraphrase it. As the Father has loved the Son, so has the Son loved you. So if you examine how much the Father loved his Son, timeless, without measure.
Okay.
That's the same way the Son loves you. Let this kind of brew in your mind a little bit. Yeah. All right, good morning to you. Let's take a look at some of the top stories through the last 24 hours. There's always some exciting things going on. The first one is, it's going to be a little lengthy here, but this is pretty interesting. As you know, Senator Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma is now in confirmation hearings to take the place for the next DHS secretary and replacing former, Kristi Noem. And anyway, I did not know that, Senator Mullen and Senator Rand Paul apparently are not buddies. There's been this ongoing feud between the two.
No kidding.
And it got kind of tough.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, Senator Rand Paul, who's chairman of the committee doing the confirmation hearings, had to swear in Senator Mullen, and then said, now you have, please give us your opening comments. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, it was not the standard opening comment.
Yeah.
Here's a little bit of what happened yesterday.
When in Oklahoma the media asked you about the refugee welfare programs, the programs you voted to continue funding, it was this whole idea that you were going to transfer it because you were uncomfortable, your anger, low impulse control, causes you to then go after and decide that you're going to go after me as well. And so you say you completely understood that I was assaulted from behind, had 6 ribs broken and part of my lung removed, and that was just fine. That's something that you, I guess, approve of as far as resolution of political problems. When I talked to you privately on the phone, there was no apology. You just said, well, we can let our political difference, go by. And you said a few minutes ago, we can just set it aside. Well, political differences we can, but when you say that you agree with a felon, a Trump-hating felon who attacked me, somehow you think I'm just going to set that aside? Oh, it's no big deal. I mean, the sheer lack of any kind of self-awareness that you're going to be leading thousands of men and women who will have the use of force, and there's been great questions in our country about how that will be used, and you think a violent attack is just fine. So I guess my first question is, do you think that justifying that kind of violence sets a good example for the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol?
Mr. Chairman, first of all, I didn't know the extent of your damage. When the phone call was made, I made it to you and I tried to talk to you. You didn't engage at all. In fact, you said, get your paperwork in. It's got to be 3 days in between.
You offered no apology.
Sir?
And you offer no apology today and no regrets. Haven't heard the word apologize, haven't heard the word regret, haven't heard I misspoke and it was heated and I made a mistake. Haven't heard any of those words.
Sir, actually, it wasn't heated, and I'm not apologizing for pointing out your character.
Good. So you're jolly well fine, and you want the American public and the people up here to vote that may or may not vote for you to know that you supported the felonious, violent attack on me from behind.
I did not say I supported it. I said I understood it. There's a difference.
So that means you really didn't approve of it, just completely understand it. What do you think most people would interpret completely understand to be? Support for or a condemnation of the violence?
Sir, as I said, we can have our differences. It's not going to keep me from doing my job as Secretary of Homeland Security. I'm going to secure Kentucky and take care of Kentucky as much as I am Oklahoma.
If this were a one-off, it would be one thing. If you just disliked me so much that you approved of violence against me, people could just write it off. Well, maybe they hate each other.
Okay, so that was after, I thought it was the other opening, but at the very beginning, when Senator Rand Paul swore him in, and he was given his time to give his opening statement. Yeah. He said, before I give an opening statement, I want to address you, Mr. Chairman, for calling me a liar. And he went after him, and he went after him hard. Mullen after Paul. Okay. Right. So then he goes into his opening statement, okay? So then they get into the Q&A back and forth, and now it was Senator Paul's time to ask him a question, and that was the clip you just heard. Yeah. These two boys do not like each other. Not a bit. And Rand Paul is basically said no matter what, he's voting against him. Okay. But that was offset yesterday by Senator Fetterman, who said he's going to vote for him. Yeah. So I suspect this is going to go down party lines. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Fetterman even used the word kind in describing.
Yeah, look, these are two guys that need to understand one thing. They don't like each other. And yet they're supposedly on the same team. Yeah, but they don't like each other.
Now, Mullen and Paul, they go back beyond this. Do you know anything other than this incident? There seems to be some bad water flowing there.
It was prior to when Senator Paul was attacked in his yard by the neighbor. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I would imagine that some flippant marks were made. You know how things are when people are heated. Unfortunately, we all make those mistakes.
Yeah.
But to your point, it sounds like there was something even prior to that.
Yeah, yes.
I don't know.
This didn't just start. Yep.
The other story is that the Feds yesterday did not raise or lower interest rates. They kept them at the same. And, excuse me, Fed Chair Jerome Powell basically said that he would not leave the Fed board so long as the Justice Department investigation into central banking is going on. Now, he can step down as chair. He has to be replaced. His term is up at the end of May. Okay. The president has already nominated his replacement. But that does not mean that Powell has to leave the board. He can stay on the board. Now, normally, when the Fed chair ends his term, they leave everything.
Okay.
But Powell is basically saying, since you got this investigation going on with me about how I spent money building the building, I may just stick around. In other words, I'm going to be a thorn in your side. Anyway, here's what he had to say yesterday.
So if my successor is not confirmed by the end of my term as chair, I would serve as chair pro tem until he is confirmed. That is what the law calls for. That's what we've done on several occasions, including involving me, and it's what we're going to do in this situation. And while I'm at it, on the question whether I will leave while the investigation is ongoing, I have no intention of leaving the board until the investigation is well and truly over, with transparency and finality, and I would refer you to the statement that was in the Fed's brief that you all have seen, and I won't have anything more for you on that. On the question of whether I will then continue to serve as a governor after my term ends and after the investigation is over, I have not made that decision yet, and I will make that decision based on what I think is best for the institution and for the people we serve.
Am I on? Basically, he's being investigated for how he had the overrun of remodeling the Fed building.
Right.
An overrun.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever built something and have it overrun?
Yeah.
Look in this room.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I don't sleep at night.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he had $1 billion overrun. And you remember President Trump and him walking through the building with hard hats on, and President Trump pulls out the contracting sheet.
He goes, Jerome, let me ask you about this sheet that I have. A little overrun here, huh?
Yeah, $1 billion. So,
can you imagine Jerome Powell walking with the president? All of a sudden, this thing comes flying out of his jacket. And
you got a developer who's a par excellence, and he pulls his poop sheet out to give the guy a little bit of a lecture on how a building should be built. So let me ask you folks, does anybody save their job with $1 billion overrun? I mean, give me a break. Other than government, does anybody save their job with $1 billion overrun?
Really good question. Yeah, who does? Yeah, nobody else.
I mean,
right.
You know, I was sweating bullets when I went before our board and showed them what happened here. You know, it's stuff you really can't control.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you're the guy.
Yes.
You know. And so anyway, so much for that one. Okay, we'll see where that goes.
Okay.
All right, yesterday there's this, how about this? Taylor's, let's see here, Deporting Fraudsters Act.
What? What?
Deporting Fraudsters Act.
Okay, yeah.
Passed yesterday with over 200 Democrats voting. However, some of them voted for it. The lawmakers' vote yesterday was 231 to 186. Basically, what this is saying is that if you're an illegal alien caught in fraud, you get deported.
Well, bingo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, it did get through the House yesterday, 231 to 186. It's going over to the Senate. I might have a tougher go over there. But I love Deporting Fraudsters Act.
So, well, what is it about Democrats that they oppose in this? Why would they not want to deport people who are committing fraud?
Oh, you know what's interesting? This just shows you the bias of the news.
Okay.
But for the most part, anything that's coming from the Republicans, especially led by the president, the Democrats are going to oppose.
Yeah.
All right, so that's just the normal everyday battle. Okay, I don't care. They will, if he found a cure to cancer, they would oppose it.
Oh, yeah, they'd say you're putting doctors out of work.
Okay. There you go. Okay, but you know the story that never gets reported?
What?
In this case, there were quite a few Democrats that voted for it. It never makes the news.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yes.
So I'm thinking, even Fox, why aren't you reporting on it?
Right. And why don't we see an interview with one of those Democrats who supported it and giving the reasons
Because
why?
they have to go home. Every one of them's up for re-election. They have to go home the midterm.
Yes.
So let me give you the headline. You remember Bob just telling us be careful about headlines.
Yes.
So let me read this headline to you.
Okay.
Almost 200 House Democrats voted against deporting people who commit welfare fraud.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
That was the headline.
That's the headline.
You get into the story, and a lot of Democrats voted for it.
Right.
And it passed.
Right. Oh, my goodness. Instead of the headline saying this passed because it ran on the legs of Democrats who helped pass it. Yes.
All right. Now, this story is a little touchy this morning.
Okay. Oh, you got a touchy one?
Yeah, I'm not sure where this is going.
Okay.
Representative James Comer, you know, he heads up the House Oversight Committee. He sent a subpoena out to Pam Bondi.
Oh.
To come and testify about why hasn't she released everything relative to the Epstein files. Here's what he had to say.
I told the Attorney General, I spoke on numerous occasions. I was like, we are serious about this investigation. This isn't a political game. Our constituents want answers. The American people want answers. We want to work with you. If we're going down a lane where you have an ongoing investigation, then tell us. We don't want to interfere or impede, but we plan on moving forward. We plan on getting answers for the American people, and hopefully we'll be able to get more answers. And you know, I think everyone hopes that some people are held accountable to where we can get some accountability. But as I've said earlier, we're seeing accountability. There are over a dozen men and women who have already resigned from very powerful, prestigious boards because of what has come out in public. And what's come out in public is because of the oversight subpoena of the DOJ documents and the oversight subpoena of the Epstein estate documents.
Gosh, get this stupid case behind us. This is ridiculous. I really don't know what she's trying to say. The Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, is basically saying we can't release everything because of the innocence of the victims. Okay, but sorry. Okay, this case has been drug out. It has become a flamethrower on both sides. It's getting nowhere. It's tying up a lot of time. And I would suspect that most victims would like to get this out of their life.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that is a self-judgment on behalf of the Attorney General saying, we're not going to release everything because of this. She's making a decision, okay? Not to mention the redacted part of all this stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, yeah.
Both sides have said, put it all out there.
Right.
Both sides have said that.
Right.
Let's get this stupid thing out of our hair.
Yeah, what's the...
It's such a salacious... You know, it is the worst soap opera America's ever been drugged through. This could turn into a soap opera on television where they'll sell a gazillion spots because people love this kind of junk.
Yeah, yes.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Let's go back to double caramels from C's.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be-
Your love, the only thing that matters is your love. Your love, that's all I have to give. Your love is enough to light up the darkness. It's your love.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Have you seen Mornings on the Dove?
Good morning to you. A lot in the news.
Courage comes when you've been with Jesus?
A movie monster made his larger-than-life debut, introducing audiences to a giant ape brought to life through groundbreaking stop-motion animation.
In fact, I'm in the stage of life where I'm letting some things go.
Yes, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, well, I won't tell you what.
Add some fun to your mornings. Watch Mornings on the Dove weekdays.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
Hi, I'm Bayless Conlon. In life, we all face uncertainty, whether it's financial troubles, relationship valleys, a health crisis, or just trying to discover your purpose. One thing is for certain, God sees you. He loves you, and no matter what you're facing, He has the answers.
Get Answers with Bayless Conley, Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative.
All right, couple quick things here. Just to let you know some backyard news. Our 2 U.S. senators are going to be in our area. Senator Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley are both hosting town hall meetings engaged to local communities throughout Southern Oregon. Senator Wyden will hold a town hall meeting in Lake County April 2nd at 12:30 at the Lake View Elks Lodge. And then later that day, he'll run over to Klamath County at 5 o'clock there at the OIT College. In the meantime, Senator Merkley is scheduled to visit Klamath County tomorrow at 2:30 in his town hall meeting to take place at the OIT College Union building. So if you want to, if you live in those areas out around Klamath Falls, the duo is going to be in town over the next couple of weeks, so your opportunity to go talk to them. And I would say show up.
Okay, yeah, good idea. And I'll bet you Senator Wyden really loves to come back home and get back into his house where he likes to reside. And
where is that?
New York City. Sorry, I got confused.
Okay.
I always wonder, where does he stay when he comes to Oregon? Because he doesn't live here.
Motel 6.
Motel 6. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, so back to, what is today, Gardening Day?
Today is Backyard Day. Yeah.
Well, this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the 44th Annual Southern Oregon Home and Garden Show at the Expo.
Perfect timing.
So, going to be beautiful weather, and just has to go and check it all out. I understand our buddy Tim Elbert will be out there from Four Seasons.
He'll be busy.
Yeah, be hosting a featured garden center.
Oh.
I mean, he's like putting on the show, man.
Yeah.
So admission's $5 at the door, and buy some popcorn and take a walk.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, let's take a look at the satellite image. Here's what's happening on the weather scene.
Yeah.
Pretty nice, but that could move down a little bit starting maybe tomorrow, the next day, bring some little bit cooler temperatures, but today could be hot.
Boy, that has been a familiar pattern most of the winter, hasn't it? You know, other than the Oregon split that we've seen over and over again. But 79, 80 today, and before it starts to drop a little bit, and again, as you said, a chance of showers coming our way. Well, during the hearing with Tulsi Gabbard, Ron Wyden questioned Gabbard about the intelligence of the U.S. military in the Middle East.
Director Gabbard, last year your agencies testified, and I quote, Iran's large conventional forces are capable of inflicting substantial damage to an attacker, executing regional strikes, and disrupting shipping, particularly energy supplies, through the Strait of Hormuz. In other words, every problem we're seeing now was not only foreseeable, but was actually predicted by the intelligence agencies. So, Director, in the lead up to the start of this war 3 weeks ago, did the intelligence agencies stick to their assessment that in response to an attack, the Iranians had the capability to shut down the Strait of Hormuz?
Thank you, Senator Wyden. The intelligence community has continued to provide the president and his team with the intelligence related to this operation in Iran before and on an ongoing basis.
So right now, we're in a global energy crisis. We're paying more for gas. The economy is in danger. And it seems to me, and I heard you discuss this with Senator Warner too, that there's a lot of hedging going on with respect to entirely foreseen consequences of the war. And that strikes me, Madam Director, as what amounts to a historic mistake. Now, my second question is, did the intelligence agencies assess that the Iranians could respond to a regime change attack from us by attacking U.S. forces and other Americans in the region?
The IC assessment has always taken very seriously the threat of the Iranian regime's missile capabilities and how our American troops within the region may be put at risk.
Again, it seems to me with Americans dying in the war, it's hard to see how you can sit here and say that the intelligence agencies couldn't provide a clear warning that if attacked, the Iranians would respond by attacking our people.
Well, okay, look, I guess you could ping-pong this thing to death.
Yes, and that's what they're doing. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess it's so amazing to me, it just seems to me, okay, that I've listened to a lot of these committees about the war, okay, and basically what they're trying to say, we shouldn't have done it.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now that we're in it,
yeah,
let's make sure it fails.
Yeah, exactly right.
And I'm thinking, okay, you have every right to say we shouldn't have done it, and everybody can give their reasons why we did.
Okay.
But now that we're in it, they're more concerned about it failing than they are winning.
Yeah.
And
right.
I'm thinking, I'm going, gosh.
Yeah, I would love Tulsi Gabbard to look wide in the eye and say, okay, well, past administrations, both Republican and Democrats, have failed in their attempts to negotiate with this regime. What would you do? What is your next step? Which brings me towards, some of the countries that are not lending a hand in the Hormuz Strait. I heard it said by an expert this morning, and this was really well said. He said, some European countries, especially Germany, and we look over at Japan, they are heavily dependent on oil that comes through the Strait of Hormuz. Why aren't they helping us? And he has put it well. He said, you know what? The world has gotten used to us doing their dirty work for them.
Yeah.
And that's where we are.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like NATO.
Exactly.
NATO,
perfect.
Sneezes, and we're there with all the cold medicine.
Yep.
But now, we need a little help.
Medicine. I like that. That's good.
I don't know. We can't assess the moment. We have to do blame game back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of like most of these hearings. It's kind of like a news conference with an agency after there's been a mass shooting or a murder or a mistake. Well, we're going to increase surveillance.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to do more background checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's easy to criticize all this stuff. So anyway, but I tell you, the cure to everything is the double caramels from See's Candy. It cures everything.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
It'll. You won't get the measles. It'll heal a broken leg.
Right. Don't worry about cavities.
It will. Oh, man, you talk about healing a bad attitude, a DRA.
A broken leg?
Yeah, it'll heal a broken leg.
Yeah. Thanks.
And it is the great antidote to a DRA.
A dirty, rotten attitude.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
We'll be right back.
It's beautiful, amazing grace, how sweet the sound. It covers every part of me. My soul is sought and I am found. And it's a beautiful sound.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
All right, good morning to you. A lot going on around the world, and CBN News on top of it. Let's check in with them for the latest on what's happening in the Middle East.
The Israeli Prime Minister's office shares this photo showing the moment Benjamin Netanyahu ordered Monday's airstrike that killed the besieged commander, along with Iran's de facto leader Ali Larijani.
He was in charge of the killing of protesters. It's an evil group. I mean, they've killed much more than 32,000 people.
And today, Israel announced it's eliminated Iran's intelligence minister. Netanyahu says the deadly precision strikes prove Israel is watching Iran, and more surprises are on the way. With Israeli drones targeting police and besieged checkpoints in Tehran, he encouraged Iranian citizens to celebrate their new year.
This is meant to enable the brave people of Iran to celebrate the Festival of Fire. So celebrate and Happy Nowruz. We're watching from above.
Iran's top diplomat is promising retaliation. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi posted on X that there will be a wave of global repercussions, regardless of wealth, faith, or race. Overnight, an Iranian cluster bomb hit Tel Aviv, killing 2 people. In Washington, the nation's top counterterrorism official caused a stir when he resigned in protest.
I had access to just about everything. And how you could come to the conclusion that the Israelis did it and there was no imminent threat here? Really?
Well, I read his statement. I always thought he was a nice guy, but I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security.
Trump also shared criticism of NATO and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer for not stepping up to help the Strait of Hormuz open. Pointing to a bust of legendary British leader Winston Churchill, the president said,
"You know, unfortunately, Keir is not Winston Churchill."
The U.S. is now dropping 5,000 bombs along the straits, hitting missile sites that target shipping. As the war moves into day 19, the IDF is taking down buildings in Lebanon, reportedly used for terrorist operations.
Mr. Prime Minister, I want to...
In the information war, Ambassador Mike Huckabee posts a new video showing him walking with Netanyahu to counter a barrage of AI-generated images claiming the prime minister is dead, and Iranian attacks have leveled Israel.
What's going on right now, Paul, is psychological warfare. And what's being tested right now, if it works, will be used all around the world and will make the entire world more unsafe.
With the war still going on, President Trump has canceled an upcoming trip to China and meeting with President Xi Jinping. But he says with Iran's Air Force and Navy destroyed and missile capabilities decimated, Iran is no longer the bully of the Mideast.
But we're not ready to leave yet, but we'll be leaving in the near future. We'll be leaving in pretty much the very near future. But right now, they've been decimated from every standpoint.
Paul Petit, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, George Thomas joins us now from Kurdish territory in northern Iraq. So, George, what's happening there now?
Well, Gordon, I would have loved to show you the place that I was just a few minutes ago. It's right behind me, up the mountain to the left. But we had to leave because the folks we were with, they're called the Kurdistan Freedom Party. The acronym is PAC. And we met with about 5-6 Peshmerga fighters. And they came to show us, they brought us to this place. It was struck 2 weeks ago by rocket attack from the Iranians. To my left, Iran is about 3 hours from here, my position. 2 weeks ago, a rocket slammed into their facility. It was primarily a living quarters for the families of Peshmerga fighters. One of their fighters was unfortunately died, and 2 others were injured. I came here, Gordon, to the northern part of Iraq. You know this very well. It's a safe haven for Kurds. And 2-3 weeks ago, President Trump talked about the idea of getting the Kurds involved in a potential ground operation going into the Iranian side of the country. The folks that I've spoken to here this morning, they said, look, they're ready. They are ready. They've been training, and they're battle hardened from their experience with ISIS. But they do say that if they are going to cross into Iranian territory, they definitely want the United States and Israel to provide air cover, right, so that allows them to cross the border. But they're absolutely ready. In fact, a number of the Kurdish militia groups in northern Kurdistan region, about a month and a half ago, they all got together ahead of the actual operation that Israel and the U.S. launched 3 weeks ago. But they are prepared, they're ready, and they are training as well.
Wow. Well, the only thing I can say is that it's going to be for a while. But I don't know if we understand psychological warfare. Yeah. You know, and yet in some ways we do. But can you imagine that what's left of the regime is telling themselves and trying to tell the world that Netanyahu was taken out, and here he is walking around with Michael Huckabee, Ambassador Huckabee.
Yeah, and it's a weird time in which we live in the sense that these things can be created, you know? Yeah. And so they have to post videos to show that what was posted before wasn't true. This is actually true. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, it's like the one that I saw on Instagram the other day. You were skiing with 2 boots on.
2 right boots or
no, 2 black boots. Okay, with sticks coming up your legs. Okay, oh, no. And you were in full slalom speed.
Yeah, that was AI.
Huh?
Yeah, that was
at the bottom of the hill was an ambulance
waiting for me.
You know, and Pam sitting there with her hands on her hip, waiting for you to come down.
Okay, that one might have been real. Okay.
We'll be right back. Oh,
no. Wait.
Check out the weather.
Okay, thank you.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, a mild but unsettled day with a chance of rain and mostly cloudy. Highs reach into the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with a light south wind. Moving down the Willamette Valley, partly sunny, then a slight chance of showers for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs in the upper 60s. Partly sunny in Eugene with a high in the low 70s. It's warmer, brighter, and breezy in central Oregon with partly sunny skies over Prineville, Bend, and Sun River and highs in the low to mid-70s. Over in Boise, Idaho, mostly sunny with a high near 79. Along the Oregon coast, partly sunny in Coos Bay with a high near 70. Mostly sunny skies from Port Orford and Brookings with highs in the low 60s through Crescent City, California with a high near 67. In southern Oregon, warm weather continues for the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin with sunny to mostly sunny skies. Highs in the low 80s for Grants Pass and Medford and upper 70s in Ashland and Klamath Falls. Into northern California with sunny skies from Wairika with a high in the low 80s through Redding, Chico, and Sacramento with temperatures moving up into the low 90s and low in the upper 50s. Around the Bay Area, sunshine and heat continue, especially inland. Santa Rosa and Napa will see highs in the low 90s. San Francisco reaches the upper 80s under sunny skies, and the high in San Jose will be near 94. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful shot of our valleys. The sun's coming up. Nice day in the making. Could be a warm one, up around 80.
Well, on this day in television history, exactly 1977, we said goodbye to one of the most beloved television comedies, The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
The final episode, titled The Last Show, aired on CBS, drawing more than 30 million viewers as fans tuned in to see what would happen at WJM-TV. In a surprising twist, the entire newsroom staff is let go, except for the hilariously clueless Ted Baxter. What follows is one of the most emotional moments in sitcom history, as Mary Tyler Moore delivers a heartfelt farewell, her voice cracking as she thanks her coworkers and her audience. The cast then gathers for one last moment, singing "It's a Long Way to Tipperary" in a group hug that turns into a tearful shuffle toward the door. Behind the scenes, the emotion was real. Many of the tears weren't acting. The episode went on to win an Emmy for Outstanding Writing and is still considered one of the greatest TV finales ever. And in a bit of classic Mary Richards charm, she's the last to leave and the last to turn off the lights.
Great show.
It's fabulous, and you can binge watch it. And we have done exactly that. We have watched every single episode in rerun, and it's fabulous.
Well, Ted Baxter, the dumb anchor.
Yes, Ted.
You know what? There's some reality there.
There's a lot of reality. You know,
and he reminds me of the other guy that was Les Nessman on WKRP.
Les Nessman, yes.
So Ted Baxter and Les Nessman, remember those two guys?
Funny, yeah.
So somehow it just shows you how goofy the news guys are. What did I say about you and I?
I'm not a news guy.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to line up in the ranks of Leon.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll stick with the weather. Thank you very much.
We'll get you a green blazer.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, well, anyway, Rosie the Riveter. You know, she had quite the story in World War II.
Yeah.
She tried to enlist, you know. But
the real Rosie?
Yeah, she tried to enlist, but they wouldn't take her because of she was a female.
Okay.
She actually, what happened was her brother was drafted.
Okay.
And so she thought, well, you're not going alone. I'm going to try to enlist. They wouldn't take her. So she ends up doing what on B-29s?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was sometime after the war she gave her story, and here's a little bit of a clip on that.
I never told my family where I worked and what I was doing until about 8 or 9 years later, and I just happened to be near Luke Air Force Base, and I seen a B-17 fly by, and I was standing outside with my oldest son, and I said, "Luke, Bill, you see that airplane flying?" I said, "I used to work inside those wings." And he said, "What do you mean you work inside those wings, Mom?" So then I had to tell him the whole story, what I had done, because they never knew. I was determined I was going to do something for my country because I wanted my brother to have the best equipment.
You were a bucker then, right?
Yes, I was a bucker inside the B-29 bombers. They chose the smallest girls and the skinniest ones so that we could crawl inside the wings, sit on the floor, and then we had 3 different bucking bars. They're heavy, but we were strong, you know. I had strong hands and I could hold that bar until that rivet was buckling at the right length. We couldn't flatten them. They had to stand out a little bit. We were so very united. We were behind our servicemen. And I felt like, hey, you know, we got a workforce here. Here I am, and I'm going to do the very best that I can.
All right.
Isn't that a great story?
That's fantastic.
Well, when you ever been in a B-29, and I have.
All right.
Yeah, it would take a small person to go down there, and of course, in those days, they don't have the rivet guns they had now.
Oh, yeah.
You had to hold the plate up again while they riveted against it.
Yeah, right. They have to have one on one side, yeah.
So anyway.
I saw an interesting documentary last week. A guy found the very last restorable B-29. They thought none yet existed. He found this one, and they brought it in, they restored it. They found the gal who did the riveting on it.
Oh, they did.
And she walked over, and she was saying, "I put this in, and I put this in." I thought, what an amazing moment in history.
Wow.
But they restored it, and I don't know how many. Do you know how many they have of those?
I think 2, and they're down to only a handful of B-17s. And you got to remember, they produced them by the thousands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they went to the boneyards, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did.
Boneyard, I should say.
Boneyard.
Yeah.
All right. All right, we'll take a quick boneyard break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
I like your foot.
Oh, yeah. Good thing.
Cause he made you to do every little thing that you do.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous, they're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
It was an amazing year of growth here at the Dove. You, our viewers and partners, blessed us. With a new studio, a video wall, control room, and much needed installation, heating and air conditioning, plus you helped us renew our tower leases so we can continue to broadcast the Dove all across our network. And from everyone here at the Dove, a huge thank you. We could have never done this without your help. We appreciate you standing with the Dove prayerfully and financially to keep the Dove encouraging and informative 24 hours a day. All right, well, listen, yesterday I had Joshua Phillip on. You may have seen him on all the big networks, but now he really makes it the big time.
Okay.
He's here with us on the Dove. Anyway, he's a great guy. He's a senior investigative reporter for Epoch Times. Always an honor to have him. When we call, he lets us talk to him. Anyway, he writes, he does all kinds of things. Anyway, here's the bottom line. He thinks the war on Iran is not just isolated, but connected to Venezuela, China, Cuba, and Russia. Here's his take.
In my eyes, this is interconnected with everything happening with Venezuela. This is everything interconnected with the new Trump regional defense pact he made with many Latin American governments, going after cartel networks throughout Latin America. This is tied in with the upcoming talks with China, which are now delayed, by the way. This is tied in with Russia. This is tied in with the possible regime change in Cuba. Iran is part of a global kind of axis. And Iran and the conflict there cannot be viewed as being separate from this global axis. From my perspective, this ties into the war plans of the Chinese Communist Party, the preparations to invade Taiwan. In their own writings, they were saying that in order to invade Taiwan, they'd first need to get America involved in 3 other wars. They wanted a war with Russia, which they got. They wanted a war in Latin America, which was avoided after Trump took out Maduro in Venezuela, because Venezuela was actually preparing to invade Guyana literally within any minute when Trump captured Maduro. That would have happened within any minute when that took place. And Iran was the third piece. They wanted a terror war. And Iran is kind of the puppeteer of global terrorism, plotting attacks in Iraq, plotting attacks in Afghanistan, feeding the fires of Hezbollah and Hamas, actually operations all throughout Latin America, which have very likely infiltrated the United States, assassination networks, ties in with cartels, narco-terrorist organizations, and organized crime groups. And so, in my eyes, this is tied in with that. I think Trump has taking Venezuela off the table was a huge blow to this global agenda. I believe the CCP saw a very narrow time window, as did Iran and Russia. Taking Iran off the table basically eliminates the war plan if Trump can succeed in this. And the narrow window is formed by this. The sad reality is America lacks rare earth minerals, which we need to fight a war. We're dependent on China for that. We also lack wartime manufacturing. Trump's trying to rebuild that. The time frame on that's going to be 2 or 3 years. Also, we lack the domestic ability to produce the medications we need, including during wartime. We're also dependent on China for that. And so if nothing, if basically, if they can't start a war within the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to be able to stand on our own 2 feet without them. And so they're seeing a very narrow window for this. They understand that based on current capabilities, they can't fight us full head on. They need to get us involved in at least 3 other wars in addition to them. And so I think Trump taking these off the table could eliminate that possibility.
Fascinating.
Wow. Wow.
Take with you 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 3 today. Praise be to the God and the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In his great mercy, he has given us new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. That's the gospel in a nutshell right there. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Yeah.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
You are invited to the 2026 Access Senior Fair, Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X. Over 80 vendor booths offering helpful resources for seniors and their families. Try your luck at a round of bingo complete with prizes. All are welcome at the largest free and fun senior resource fair in Southern Oregon. We'll see you Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X.
Welcome to Fish Lake Resort, where adventure is everywhere, and everyone is your friend. The fishing is great, and the food is tasty. The RV sites are full hookup, and the cabins are cozy. It's always a good time at Fish Lake Resort, and the best part is, you can come visit any day of the year because we are open all year, 7 days a week. Visit fishlakeresort.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
Do events in the world leave you confused? A world where up is down and down is up.
Mornings on the Dove knows how you feel. We're here to offer God's hope and encouragement and to help you to sort it all out.
Alerting you to the truth that the mainstream media would rather you not know.
Common sense discussions on what's really going on.
That will leave you better informed and encouraged by the gospel.
In this upside-down world,
get it straight.
Watch Mornings on the Dove weekdays.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Now notice when Jesus called his disciples, he never hid from them the fact that to follow him meant suffering, persecution, and death. We have a great deal of what someone has called cheap grace. Easy to follow Christ. Easy to get in the church. In Jesus' day, he called them to suffering. He didn't call them to a playground. He called them to a battlefield. He called them to war, spiritual war. And he said, you're going to suffer, and you're going to be wounded, and you're going to die in my cause. Because the world is going to reject me. This world that's dominated by evil and sin will reject me.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
This Easter, we rejoice. Death could not hold him. Happy Easter from the Dove TV. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. This is Jerry Bilden's Happy Hour.
Yes, it is.
He's so happy he can hardly sit here.
Yeah, it's like I've been eating like peanut clusters or something. I'm so happy.
You are.
I have been, yeah.
Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. One more warm day, and it could be quite warm, so we'll talk about that. A lot going on in the news. There always is. We'll get you caught up the best we have. Mm-hmm. And there's some really fun things on the eat list today.
Oh, there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But first, we're going to laugh because it is National Let's Laugh Day, reminding us to add a little humor to our day. And there might be certain parts of the day that this is more important than others. You know, there are those little incidents in life that happen, you know, that just grate on your nerves. It's a time we need to laugh a little bit more. So think about that.
Yeah, say something the opposite that you're known for.
Like what?
Well, you know, just to see how your friends react. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, take a liberal to lunch.
And pay for them?
And pay for them.
Okay. Well, they're used to that.
They're used to it. Call it a welfare lunch.
Okay. That's good. Okay. All right. It's National Ag Day.
Ag Day.
Yeah. Recognizing and celebrating the abundance provided by agriculture across the United States. And you've said it often that people need to realize, especially young people need to realize that their food does not come from...
Well, Safeway, Albertsons, Sherm's, Food for Less, Costco.
Yep. Fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
It actually comes from a field, a farmer's field somewhere.
Yeah.
Or somebody's cattle ranch.
Yeah.
Or pig farm.
Yeah.
Or lamb farm.
Potato farm,
or
wheat
potato farm.
Whatever. Yes.
Rice, potatoes, avocados.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Peaches, pears.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
Yep. Okay.
And you wouldn't have any of those if you didn't have honeybees.
Right. That's true too, and
so,
you know what? And
that honeybee.
Well, that's a good point because today's not only National Ag Day, it's also National Backyard Day, and honeybees, you know, come into our backyards, and we can help honeybee populations by what we let grow in our backyards.
Yes. Yeah. So
and not spraying back there and trying to do.
Don't swat them.
Don't swat them.
Hug them.
Don't spray insecticides back there. Don't do that stuff.
No.
Let those bees go. That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's also National Certified Nurses Day. And if you have been plugged into the healthcare system recently, you know how valuable nurses are in our lives. Thank you, all the nurses, especially the ones that I've been in contact with in the last year.
I have a question on that.
There have been plenty. What?
Most of our audience knows, you know, you broke your leg.
Yeah, right, yeah.
All right, and you're going to have the...
Yeah, and I got it's called revision surgery. You have to have it all.
Yeah.
They have to start from square one, do it all over again, take all the hardware out and do it again.
So you have great appreciation for nurses.
Totally.
And they're worth their pay.
Totally.
So do you pay Pam the same amount?
Totally. More.
Really? I want to see the pay stubs.
she gets it all.
Pam, go for it.
She's got it all.
I didn't know if you wanted a Mercedes or you wanted a pool in the backyard, whatever it is.
Well, she was saying, well, yeah, I don't know. Before we order a Mercedes, you better check those pay stubs. Okay, it's also National Poultry Day. Kicking off the day with eggs and turkey bacon for breakfast. Around lunchtime, have an open-faced turkey avocado sandwich, and then maybe finish off with a good old-fashioned fried chicken dinner, however you do it. Enjoy it. It is National Poultry Day, and you know what they say? You know those cows that work over at Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Eat more chicken. Eat more.
The cows say that.
The cows say that. Eat more chicken.
It is a good line.
Yeah, it is great. It was a good ad campaign. Also, National Chocolate Caramel Day. Enjoy chocolate caramel in your favorite candy bar, ice cream, or dessert. While Milton Hershey receives a lot of credit for making chocolate caramel popular, he actually started off making caramels first. But the chocolate caramels existed in recipe form in the 1880s, and about that time, the first mass-produced chocolate bar became available, and of course, that was Milton Hershey, and some of the first creations he made, he combined chocolate with caramel, his first product. And we're watching them roll out of the bin, the hopper right now, with caramels being dipped in fresh chocolate. And is there a brand that is maybe best at this? Yes. Okay.
C's Double Caramel.
Can't argue that.
You can't do it. It's just wonderful. I don't know how else to say it any better. And you know, it gets to the point where you enjoy it so much you don't care what it costs.
That's right. Absolutely. And the cost is going up. And it will continue to go up. Now, caramels wrapped in dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Either way.
Okay. All right.
Either way. But there's something about the C's Double Caramel. And by the way, I have to say this.
What?
Until I had one a couple of years ago and I started mentioning it on the air.
Yeah, yeah.
The Little C store here did not carry them on a regular basis. They were like a seasonal thing.
Really?
Now you can go down there and buy them in a little bag.
You can
So I have.
thank Perry.
Well, I go in there. I said, I'm the guy that sells those for you. Who are you?
Who are you?
I said, well, do I get a discount? No.
What I like about C's though is, I love food samplers, but I've been in line at C's to buy a box of candy for my sweetheart, and they come by with little samplers in the line.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you like something? I said, can I get particular? Yeah, I want that one.
I want that one. So enjoy wherever you get your chocolate caramel. Enjoy it.
All right. Here's a guy that doesn't know if it was the chicken or the egg that came first.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, a mild but unsettled day with a chance of rain and mostly cloudy. Highs reach into the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with a light south wind. Moving down the Willamette Valley, partly sunny, then a slight chance of showers for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs in the upper 60s. Partly sunny in Eugene with a high in the low 70s. It's warmer, brighter, and breezy in central Oregon with partly sunny skies over Prineville, Bend, and Sun River and highs in the low to mid-70s. Over in Boise, Idaho, mostly sunny with a high near 79. Along the Oregon coast, partly sunny in Coos Bay with a high near 70. Mostly sunny skies from Port Orford and Brookings with highs in the low 60s through Crescent City, California with a high near 67. In southern Oregon, warm weather continues for the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin with sunny to mostly sunny skies, highs in the low 80s for Grants Pass and Medford and upper 70s in Ashland and Klamath Falls. Into northern California with sunny skies from Wairika with a high in the low 80s through Redding, Chico, and Sacramento with temperatures moving up into the low 90s and low in the upper 50s. Around the Bay Area, sunshine and heat continue, especially inland. Santa Rosa and Napa will see highs in the low 90s. San Francisco reaches the upper 80s under sunny skies, and the high in San Jose will be near 94. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
Wow, 94. All right, that's the top of Mount Ashland. That's looking to the northeast. That's McLaughlin, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
The broadcast tower up there.
Well, we know that we are to have no false idols. And idols can come in so many different forms, especially these days. And Bayless Conley is here with the question, has culture quietly become an idol?
We are Christians first and foremost. We are citizens of heaven, and we should never put our ethnicity before that. We should never put our culture before that. It's Jesus first. It's the kingdom of God first. And I think with some people, it's almost a bit of idolatry. Well, yeah, I'm a Christian, but, I'm this kind of Christian. Or I come out, and it's like the culture, trumps everything else. Well, this is the way we do this in this, name the culture, name the skin color, and then put the church after it. I think that's wrong. We are a colony of heaven. And first and foremost, my friend, if you name the name of Christ, we are brothers, and you are my sister, and we follow a higher law. We have a higher king, and that is our first relational point. And everything else comes after that, not before that.
Amen.
Wow.
Yep.
So I can't call myself a C's double caramel Christian?
Don't do it. At least don't do it on the air. Okay. All right.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Bayless, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
By the way, he got saved on the streets of Medford.
It's an amazing story.
He was walking the streets of Medford, lost a guy could be lost.
Wow.
And somebody shared the gospel with him in downtown Medford on Main Street, and he gave his life to the Lord.
Amazing.
And today he's got one of the bigger churches in Southern Cal.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right, 9 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. Quite the clash yesterday between the new Secretary of Homeland Security, Senator Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma, and Senator Rand Paul, who's a Republican from Kentucky. He chairs the committee that's doing the confirmation for Senator Mullen. And apparently these two guys don't like each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just don't like each other.
Yeah.
There's some bad blood in the past. So at the very beginning, Senator Paul had to swear in Senator Mullen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then as they sat down, Senator Paul would say to Senator Mullen, all right, it's time for you to go ahead and give your opening statement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and he said, before I give an opening statement, he went after Senator Paul and for calling him a liar and just lambasted him.
Okay.
Then he went into his opening comments and all this and that.
All right.
So now you're an hour or so into the committee.
Yeah.
And it's time for Senator Paul to ask Senator Mullen some questions about, becoming the next DHS secretary.
All right.
But at the beginning of his comment, it went personal.
Oh.
And here it is.
When in Oklahoma the media asked you about the refugee welfare programs, the programs you voted to continue funding, it was this whole idea that you were going to transfer because you were uncomfortable, your anger, low impulse control, causes you to then go after and decide that you're going to go after me as well. And so you say you completely understood that I was assaulted from behind, had 6 ribs broken and part of my lung removed, and that was just fine. That's something that you, I guess, approve of as far as resolution of political problems. When I talked to you privately on the phone, there was no apology. You just said, well, we can let our political difference, go by. And you said a few minutes ago, we can just set it aside. Well, political differences we can, but when you say that you agree with a felon, a Trump-hating felon who attacked me, somehow you think I'm just going to set that aside? Oh, it's no big deal. I mean, the sheer lack of any kind of self-awareness that you're going to be leading thousands of men and women who will have the use of force, and there's been great questions in our country about how that will be used, and you think a violent attack is just fine. So I guess my first question is, do you think that justifying that kind of violence sets a good example for the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol?
Mr. Chairman, first of all, I didn't know the extent of your damage. When the phone call was made, I made it to you, and I tried to talk to you. You didn't engage at all. In fact, you said, get your paperwork in. It's got to be 3 days in between.
You offered no apology.
Sir?
And you offer no apology today, and no regrets. Haven't heard the word apologize, haven't heard the word regret, haven't heard I misspoke, and it was heated, and I made a mistake. Haven't heard any of those words.
Sir, actually, it wasn't heated, and I'm not apologizing for pointing out your character.
Good. So you're jolly well fine, and you want the American public and the people up here to vote that may or may not vote for you to know that you supported the felonious, violent attack on me from behind.
I did not say I supported it. I said I understood it. There's a difference.
So that means you really didn't approve of it, just completely understand it. What do you think most people would interpret completely understand to be? Support for or a condemnation of the violence?
Sir, as I said, we can have our differences. It's not going to keep me from doing my job as Secretary of Homeland Security. I'm going to secure Kentucky and take care of Kentucky as much as I am Oklahoma.
If this were a one-off, it would be one thing. If you just disliked me so much that you approved of violence against me, people could just write it off. Well, maybe they hate each other.
Okay, so look, this is borderline getting further out of control.
Oh boy, I'll say.
Yeah, those boys need to go out back and settle it. But
yes,
that just shows you. So anyway, from what I understand now, Senator Paul says I'm not going to vote for him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Obviously, that's very personal.
Yeah.
But then later in the day, Senator Fetterman said he was going to vote for him. So that kind of crosses the Republican out and puts the Democrat back in. So the numbers are staying the same. And it's very possible that Senator Mullen's confirmation will go to the Senate floor today for a full vote.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes.
All right.
In the meantime, Jerome Powell, who's, the Fed chair, he's going to be replaced here shortly because his term is up. Normally when a Fed chair's term is up, they leave the government entirely, or the governing board entirely. But he said he may not, because as long as the Justice Department's investigation continues on, he may stick around. And here's what he said.
So if my successor is not confirmed by the end of my term as chair, I would serve as chair pro tem until he is confirmed. That is what the law calls for. That's what we've done on several occasions, including involving me, and it's what we're going to do in this situation. And while I'm at it, on the question whether I will leave while the investigation is ongoing, I have no intention of leaving the board until the investigation is well and truly over, with transparency and finality, And I would refer you to the statement that was in the Fed's brief that you all have seen, and I won't have anything more for you on that. On the question of whether I will then continue to serve as a governor after my term ends and after the investigation is over, I have not made that decision yet. And I will make that decision based on what I think is best for the institution and for the people we serve.
Okay, so in the meantime, yesterday the Feds did not change the interest rates. They held them at the same, which has got a lot of people bugged, especially with pending inflation. So there he sits. So basically, he's under investigation for. They did a remodel at the Fed building, and it happened to be a $1 billion overrun. $1 billion overrun. I don't even know what the original bid was, but it went over that, $1 billion.
What on earth are they doing to that?
Well, I don't know. If it's, that seems awful out of place and way over the top.
Well, there's a real estate guy that found, he was wondering about some of the expenses involved, huh?
Well, a couple months ago, if you remember, there was this unbelievable scene where President Trump and Chairman Powell were walking through the building. They both had their hard hats on.
Yes.
And they come out after the meeting, and President Trump pulls out. He pulls out this.
He says, Jerome, I want to ask you about a couple numbers here.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem to add up right.
He shows him the overrun, and he said, this is way out of line. By the way, it's taxpayer dollars.
Right.
$1 billion overrun for a remodel of a building.
Yeah.
Something's really wrong here. But anyway, so he's under investigation for this.
Yeah.
And so anyway.
Yeah.
You talk about two guys who don't get along. Powell and Trump don't get along at all. So
seems to be.
Yeah. That could go personal. All right. So I'm going to read this headline to you because this is headlines that just shows you when you read a headline does not say that's what the story's about.
Exactly.
Here's the headline. Almost 200 House Dems vote against deporting people who committed welfare fraud. So yesterday, the U.S. House of Representatives voted on what they're calling Deporting Fraudsters Act.
Okay.
You got to love the title.
Yeah.
So basically what it is illegal citizens that frauded the government.
Okay, now.
For welfare pay and everything else.
Did it pass or not?
All right. So then it comes down to the vote.
Okay.
And the vote was 231-186. What the headline doesn't tell you is that some Democrats voted for it.
And it actually passed. Right. They missed the whole story in that headline.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you have to be on your guard or you swallow this nonsense as truth.
Right. Yeah.
So the vote was 236 to 186, with 186 voting against the Democrats. But a bunch voted for it.
Right. Yeah. And that's actually more of the story. How many Democrats defected to pass this bill?
See, and that's my other thing is why when Democrats don't vote the way of the mob.
Yeah. Right.
Why don't we talk to these people? Why aren't they in the news?
Oh, well, because that breaks that.
And do they get isolated from their party when this happens?
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah,
well, look at Fetterman.
What are they going to do with Fetterman?
They're going to
run him out, I think.
Everything they can do to run him out. Yes.
All right, this next story is a little bit brain scratching.
Okay.
Representative James Comer, he's the guy that heads up the House Oversight Committee. They're the ones that investigate just about everything. And they've been investigating this Jeffrey Epstein case forever. It's just such a salacious can of worms. But yesterday, he subpoenaed Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Whoa, okay.
I mean, you got our own Attorney General being subpoenaed by a congressional hearing to come in and testify.
Yeah.
Basically, why haven't you released everything on the files? Okay, and here's what the Chairman Comer had to say.
I told the Attorney General, I spoke on numerous occasions. I'm like, we are serious about this investigation. This isn't a political game. Our constituents want answers. The American people want answers. We want to work with you. If we're going down a lane where you have an ongoing investigation, then tell us. We don't want to interfere or impede, but we plan on moving forward. We plan on getting answers for the American people, and hopefully we'll be able to get more answers. And I think everyone hopes that some people are held accountable to where we can get some accountability. But as I've said earlier, we're seeing accountability. There are over a dozen men and women who have already resigned from very powerful, prestigious boards because of what has come out in public. And what's come out in public is because of the oversight subpoena of the DOJ documents and the oversight subpoena of the Epstein estate documents.
So, in the meantime, both sides have been calling for a full disclosure. It hasn't happened. She's holding the cards. The question is why?
Yeah.
Is she trying to protect innocent victims? Okay, then tell us who they are and why are you doing this?
Okay.
In the meantime, Alan Dershowitz says release both sides, and then he went one step further. Congress should investigate the death of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
And even Maxwell, Epstein's partner in all this, even questioned his death. And by the way,
she did,
he shows up dead 3 days before he was up for a parole hearing.
That's bizarre.
Okay, so the whole thing is just...
And the little irregularities with the security cameras. The whole thing is
the security cameras
bizarre.
have 20 seconds of dead air or something like that. Something's really, really wrong. And that could be why I don't know. I think this thing is so entangled. If your name shows up on the Epstein file, just your name being there, with no indication you did anything wrong, you're impugned with the reputation, and that's the problem.
Your name is in that hat, yes.
Yeah, and like Chairman Comer said, some high-power people on some very high-power boards and leading companies have already turned in their resignation. So anyway, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. Oh, well. So I just want you to know that I am not a C's double caramel Christian. I'm a Christian who likes C's double caramel.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Good.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV.
When plumbing emergencies hit, and they do, you want help from a plumber you can trust, and you need it now. Onnit Plumbing to the rescue. Onnit Plumbing gets the job done right with integrity and quality craftsmanship. Onnit Plumbing offers military discounts, senior discounts, and discounts for KDOV listeners too. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Onnit Plumbing, CCB 229436. No job too big or small. Onnit Plumbing does them all. See us at onnitplumbing.net. onnitplumbing.net.
Hi, I'm Ryan Robertson, host of a brand new program on the Dove, Ministries on the Move. Ministries on the Move spotlights the incredible work of how God is using everyday people and organizations, putting their faith into action, serving the hurting, strengthening families, and sharing the hope of the gospel in practical ways. Be inspired and discover these Ministries on the Move. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m., right here on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
States.
Oh, we just got a earth-breaking news.
Shattering news.
Yeah.
This just in. The most popular breed of dog in America now is officially the French Bulldog, followed by the Black Lab and the Golden Lab.
So was that Westminster last night?
I don't think so. I don't know. It was just a poll that I heard coming in. It's
the
like
French Bulldog.
Yeah, and it may be. Maybe is Westminster going on right now?
I should know that.
You should.
Yeah.
But I don't have a Bulldog.
No, your dog and my dog, they're so spoiled.
Yes, and you know what?
I think my dog walks around now with picket signs. I, too, want double caramels from C.
And I have been quoted, and people have heard me say this, that my dog, and I love our dog. You know my dog, Black Lab named Champ? And I have commented offhand that he's as dumb as dirt. He's not. That guy has got me figured out so well. He can milk me like you can't believe.
Yeah, well, that's when he's doing his job.
Oh, he is smart.
All right, good morning to you. 25 past the hour. Just some backyard news. Our 2 U.S. senators are going to be in the state at the same time. What do you know? Of course, next week is spring break, so they're probably taking a spring break, too. So just to let you know that Senator Merkley is scheduled to visit Klamath County tomorrow at 2:30 in his town hall meeting there at the OIT College Union Building. So you may want to check that out if you're over there in Klamath County. In the meantime, Senator Wyden is hosting a couple of town hall meetings, and he'll hold one at the Lake County on Thursday, April 2nd at the Lakeview Elks Lodge, and then at 5 p.m. So check those out. So both U.S. senators will be in southeastern Oregon if you want to go, and I would say go. Ask questions. Ask some tough questions.
Yeah, I would say, hey, Senator, where do you live?
Yeah.
What's your address?
Yeah.
Yeah, how long you lived there?
Yeah. Here's the question.
What?
When you order something for Amazon, where is it delivered?
Where is it delivered? That's even better. That's a great question. It says it all.
Ding.
Ding, yep.
All right, well, and tomorrow through Sunday, the 44th Annual Southern Oregon Home and Garden Show will take place and put on by the Builders Association of Southern Oregon, Jackson County Expo. This is a big deal for Southern Oregon. And all 3 days are there. And our good friend Albert from Four Seasons Nursery hosts the featured garden center, which is going to be a big deal out there. So if you are into backyard gardening, front yard gardening, if you want to go take some pictures and then give it to your neighbor as a hint.
Oh, gosh.
So go on out to the 44th Annual Southern Oregon Home and Garden Show.
You know, talking about neighbors like that, you know, we've been looking at these Rand Paul clips, and you know that he got attacked by his neighbor.
Yeah.
And his neighbor, I was just reading about it, his neighbor said it wasn't about the fact that he was Republican, conservative, or anything. He said he attacked him because of yard debris.
Oh, is that it?
You didn't pick up your leaves, man.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
All right, let's check out Wall Street this morning. And thank you, Preston with Smart Lawn. And if you call him, you won't mow ever. If you check out his wife over at Twin Peaks there in Central Point for ice cream.
Oh, yeah, why not?
All right, the Dow's still not happy, down 196 points. The Nas is off 124.5 points, and S&P, which drives it all, down 27.5 points this morning. So continued red ink, and I'm sure it's the war. So that's not doing well. In the meantime, gold is down again. Look at that, 45.93. Hey, that's down $500.
Wow.
Wow. Silver's down to 69.14, and look at crude oil. That's the problem.
There it is. Yep.
105. $105.23 a barrel.
And guess what I have to do today? For the first time since, for a while now, especially since this has really spiked, I'm looking for diesel as soon as I leave the building.
So you want to run out and get a hybrid?
I'm not running out and getting anything. You kidding me? I'm creeping out of here and I'm searching for diesel. I know where.
Just back up to McDonald's and tell them dump it here.
That's what I need. I need biodiesel that's much more heavy on bio than it is on diesel.
Yeah.
Because the oil's got to be cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Or, I mean,
by the way, diesel should be the name of your next dog.
I like that. I like it. All right. All right. Well, you know, we're looking at the conflict in the Middle East, and we know that the level of intelligence is very high, and especially between the partners, Israel and the United States. But still, there are some questions. And during a hearing with Tulsi Gabbard, Ron Wyden questioned Gabbard about the intelligence of the U.S. military in the Middle East.
Director Gabbard, last year your agencies testified, and I quote, Iran's large conventional forces are capable of inflicting substantial damage to an attacker, executing regional strikes, and disrupting shipping, particularly energy supplies, through the Strait of Hormuz. In other words, every problem we're seeing now was not only foreseeable, but was actually predicted by the intelligence agencies. So, Director, in the lead up to the start of this war 3 weeks ago, did the intelligence agencies stick to their assessment that in response to an attack, the Iranians had the capability to shut down the Strait of Hormuz?
Thank you, Senator Wyden. The intelligence community has continued to provide the president and his team with the intelligence related to this operation in Iran before and on an ongoing basis.
So right now, we're in a global energy crisis. We're paying more for gas. The economy is in danger. And it seems to me, and I heard you discuss this with Senator Warner too, that there's a lot of hedging going on with respect to entirely foreseen consequences of the war. And that strikes me, Madam Director, as what amounts to a historic mistake. Now, my second question is, did the intelligence agencies assess that the Iranians could respond to a regime change attack from us by attacking U.S. forces and other Americans in the region?
The IC assessment has always taken very seriously the threat of the Iranian regime's missile capabilities and how our American troops within the region may be put at risk.
Again, you know, it seems to me with Americans dying in the war, it's hard to see how you can sit here and say that the intelligence agencies couldn't provide a clear warning that if attacked, the Iranians would respond by attacking our people.
So the question I have is this. Is the intelligence agency supposed to go before the American people and give the warning before she tells it to the president?
No. No. That's
so do you see the gap there?
Absolutely.
So
yes.
what he is saying is you need to come to the American people and give all these warnings, even though she did do so in a letter. But the question I have is, does she do that before she tells the president? Before she tells the cabinet?
No, you don't.
I mean, you would never want one of your people in front of the press if you didn't know what they were going in front of the press to do.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, they're going to ask the president, was she correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just nitpicking.
Yeah.
You know, to the point where you just get so fed up with it. You know.
And what's the alternative? Would the senator weigh in on the failed diplomacy efforts on multiple administrations? Both Republican and Democrat have tried to negotiate with that regime, and it has always failed. So what do you do? And yes, it was warned that the Strait of Hormuz would probably be closed down. Obviously, we're making an effort to reopen it. And it's interesting in that we're asking some partners who rely on oil going through that strait to help us out, namely Japan and Germany. But Germany's not alone in Europe in this situation, but they rely way more on oil coming through that strait than for example, than us. And they won't come in. And I heard it speculated by an expert this morning. He said basically the problem is that the world has gotten used to us doing their dirty work for them, and we're doing it again.
Yeah, kind of like take care of yourself. You're America, we're not.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So where's the friendship here? Where's the allyship here?
Yeah, and it's this whole thing that the president keeps talking about with NATO as well. We'll always be there for them, but I doubt they'll ever be there for us.
I think all that's now brought into the limelight for consideration, whereas the past, we just rolled with it.
Yes.
So anyway, good stuff all the way around. 26 before the hour. We're still looking for those. Well, actually, we have a cheap impersonation.
What? Of
chocolate over there.
No, we don't. There's nothing cheap about what's over there.
Well, it doesn't have caramel in it.
Well, that doesn't matter. It's got antioxidants in the peanuts and in the chocolate. I mean, it's fabulous.
Is that antioxidants or An-American?
Come on, man.
We're going to settle this. We'll be right back.
All right.
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this is living. Bobcat,
The company that changed the way the world works is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
It was an amazing year of growth here at the Dove. You, our viewers and partners, blessed us with a new studio, a video wall, control room, and much needed installation, heating and air conditioning. Plus, you helped us renew our tower leases so we can continue to broadcast the Dove all across our network. And from everyone here at the Dove, a huge thank you. We could have never done this without your help. We appreciate you standing with the Dove prayerfully and financially to keep the Dove encouraging and informative 24 hours a day. All right, good morning. 23 minutes before the hour on this beautiful Thursday morning, heating up a little bit today. Not going to be hot, but it's going to be warm, very warm. Okay, good stuff. And we see a little bit backing down over the weekend, but right now, could be a warm day. All right, let's check in with CBN News. They got the latest of what's going on in the Middle East.
The Israeli Prime Minister's office shares this photo showing the moment Benjamin Netanyahu ordered Monday's airstrike that killed the besieged commander, along with Iran's de facto leader Ali Larijani.
He was in charge of the killing of protesters. It's an evil group. I mean, they've killed much more than 32,000 people.
And today, Israel announced it's eliminated Iran's intelligence minister. Netanyahu says the deadly precision strikes prove Israel is watching Iran and more surprises are on the way. With Israeli drones targeting police and besieged checkpoints in Tehran, he encouraged Iranian citizens to celebrate their new year.
This is meant to enable the brave people of Iran to celebrate the Festival of Fire. So celebrate and Happy Nowruz. We're watching from above.
Iran's top diplomat is promising retaliation. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi posted on X that there will be a wave of global repercussions, regardless of wealth, faith, or race. Overnight, an Iranian cluster bomb hit Tel Aviv, killing 2 people. In Washington, the nation's top counterterrorism official caused a stir when he resigned in protest. No threat, and he was drawn to the
I had access to just about everything. And how you could come to the conclusion that the Israelis did it and there was no imminent threat here? Really?
Well, I read his statement. I always thought he was a nice guy, but I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security.
Trump also shared criticism of NATO and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer for not stepping up to help the Strait of Hormuz open. Pointing to a bust of legendary British leader Winston Churchill, the president said,
"You know, unfortunately, Keir is not Winston Churchill."
The U.S. is now dropping 5,000 bombs along the straits, hitting missile sites that target shipping. As the war moves into day 19, the IDF is taking down buildings in Lebanon, reportedly used for terrorist operations.
Mr. Prime Minister, I want to...
In the information war, Ambassador Mike Huckabee posts a new video showing him walking with Netanyahu to counter a barrage of AI-generated images claiming the prime minister is dead, and Iranian attacks have leveled Israel.
What's going on right now, Paul, is psychological warfare. And what's being tested right now, if it works, will be used all around the world and will make the entire world more unsafe.
With the war still going on, President Trump has canceled an upcoming trip to China and meeting with President Xi Jinping. But he says with Iran's Air Force and Navy destroyed and missile capabilities decimated, Iran is no longer the bully of the Mideast.
But we're not ready to leave yet, but we'll be leaving in the near future. We'll be leaving in pretty much the very near future. But right now, they've been decimated from every standpoint.
Paul Petit, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, George Thomas joins us now from Kurdish territory in northern Iraq. So, George, what's happening there now?
Well, Gordon, I would have loved to show you the place that I was just a few minutes ago. It's right behind me, up the mountain to the left. But we had to leave because the folks we were with, they're called the Kurdistan Freedom Party. The acronym is PAC. And we met with about 5-6 Peshmerga fighters. And they came to show us, they brought us to this place. It was struck 2 weeks ago by rocket attack from the Iranians. To my left, Iran is about 3 hours from here, my position. 2 weeks ago, a rocket slammed into their facility. It was primarily a living quarters for the families of Peshmerga fighters. One of their fighters was unfortunately died, and 2 others were injured. I came here, Gordon, to the northern part of Iraq. You know this very well. It's a safe haven for Kurds. And 2-3 weeks ago, President Trump talked about the idea of getting the Kurds involved in a potential ground operation going into the Iranian side of the country. The folks that I've spoken to here this morning, they said, look, they're ready. They are ready. They've been training, and they're battle hardened from their experience with ISIS. But they do say that if they are going to cross into Iranian territory, they definitely want the United States and Israel to provide air cover, right, so that allows them to cross the border. But they're absolutely ready. In fact, a number of the Kurdish militia groups in northern Kurdistan region, about a month and a half ago, they all got together ahead of the actual operation that Israel and the U.S. launched 3 weeks ago. But they are prepared, they're ready, and they are training as well.
Okay, we'll see what happens. You know, I have one question. I've been thinking about this a lot. Of course, I think we all do. But I have one question. I often thought if I was before the president, what question I would ask.
No.
And it has a lot to do with the circumstances of the day and everything else. But if I was Peter Doocy now standing there asking a question, I think here's what I'd ask him. Mr. President, are you absolutely 100% convinced that Iran cannot launch anything nuclear?
That's a good question. Yeah.
We may have decimated their nuclear capabilities, but have we taken out what nuclear options they have left?
Okay. Yeah.
Do they have nuclear capability of putting it on the head of a missile and sending it somewhere? I'd like to know for sure that you got to realize they're mad now. You just trapped this bull in a corner.
Right, yeah.
And they're mad.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything's on the table with them, including firing at their neighbors.
True.
Do they have anything that could be used in a nuclear capacity in their arsenal right now?
That's a great question, especially on the heels of them opening up in the negotiations, saying that they had enough raw material to produce maybe 11. Did they say 11 warheads? This was with Kushner and Wyckoff, and that was basically kind of what started this.
Well, the other part of it is enriched uranium. And where is that? And
where is it? And that was my next question. Where is it, and can they find it and destroy it?
Well, see, that's my question.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out the weather where the guy has the questions answered about everything.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, a mild but unsettled day with a chance of rain and mostly cloudy. Highs reach into the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with a light south wind. Moving down the Willamette Valley, partly sunny, then a slight chance of showers for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs in the upper 60s. Partly sunny in Eugene with a high in the low 70s. It's warmer, brighter, and breezy in central Oregon with partly sunny skies over Prineville, Bend, and Sun River and highs in the low to mid-70s. Over in Boise, Idaho, mostly sunny with a high near 79. Along the Oregon coast, partly sunny in Coos Bay with a high near 70. Mostly sunny skies from Port Orford and Brookings with highs in the low 60s through Crescent City, California with a high near 67. In southern Oregon, warm weather continues for the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin with sunny to mostly sunny skies, highs in the low 80s for Grants Pass and Medford and upper 70s in Ashland and Klamath Falls. Into northern California with sunny skies from Wairika with a high in the low 80s through Redding, Chico, and Sacramento with temperatures moving up into the low 90s and low in the upper 50s. Around the Bay Area, sunshine and heat continue, especially inland. Santa Rosa and Napa will see highs in the low 90s. San Francisco reaches the upper 80s under sunny skies, and the high in San Jose will be near 94. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, there you go. A picture off the top of the mountain this morning. Ooh, which way is that looking? Ooh, I think that's looking directly west. Yeah. Okay. Keep on.
All right.
Nice out there.
Well, on this day in television history, we said goodbye to one of our most beloved comedies, The Mary Tyler Moore Show. The final episode, titled The Last Show, aired on CBS, drawing more than 30 million viewers as fans tuned in to see what would happen at WJM-TV. In a surprising twist, the entire newsroom staff is let go, except for the hilariously clueless Ted Baxter. What follows is one of the most emotional moments in sitcom history, as Mary Tyler Moore delivers a heartfelt farewell, her voice cracking as she thanks her coworkers and her audience. The cast then gathers for one last moment, singing It's a Long Way to Tipperary in a group hug that turns into a tearful shuffle toward the door. Behind the scenes, the emotion was real. Many of the tears weren't acting. The episode went on to win an Emmy for Outstanding Writing and is still considered one of the greatest TV finales ever. And in a bit of classic Mary Richards charm, she's the last to leave and the last to turn off the lights. A fantastic show. I saw it when it was running originally, and Pam and I have binge-watched every single episode of that show. Oh, it is fabulous, and it's hard to argue. You know, Ted Knight playing Ted Baxter was just classic. And did you know he came out of literally nowhere to get that part? He hosted a children's program in Providence, Rhode Island, morning TV. He did a few commercials after that, and I'm reading about him, and this caught my eye, and a little bit of trivia, and you can watch it if you ever watch his movie again. He had a small part playing a police officer guarding the room where Norman Bates sat wrapped in a blanket at the end of Alfred Hitchcock's movie Psycho in 1960. So there you go, something you didn't know.
Well, he played the part very, very well.
Oh, he was great, yeah.
All right, well, there really was a Rosie Riveter, and her brother got drafted during the war, and that upset her, so she went to enlistment, and they wouldn't take her because she was a female. So she ended up becoming what they call a bucker.
Oh.
In a B-29, which means she was tiny enough to crawl into those small areas and do the riveting.
All right.
Here's her story.
I never told my family where I worked and what I was doing until about 8 or 9 years later, and I just happened to be near Luke Air Force Base, and I seen a B-17 fly by, and I was standing outside with my oldest son, and I said, "Luke, Bill, you see that airplane flying?" I said, "I used to work inside those wings." And he said, "What do you mean you work inside those wings, Mom?" So then I had to tell him the whole story, what I had done, because they never knew. I was determined I was going to do something for my country because I wanted my brother to have the best equipment.
You were a bucker then, right?
Yes, I was a bucker inside the B-29 bombers. They chose the smallest girls and the skinniest ones so that we could crawl inside the wings, sit on the floor, and then we had 3 different bucking bars. They're heavy. But we were strong, you know. I had strong hands, and I could hold that bar until that rivet was bucking at the right length. We couldn't flatten them. They had to stand out a little bit. We were so very united. We were behind our servicemen. And I thought like, hey, you know, we got a workforce here. Here I am, and I'm going to do the very best that I can.
That's fantastic.
Remember the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we're going to
She
take
had
a
the
Rosie
scarf on.
Riveter break. We'll be right back.
Right. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
That you still have a reason to sing, 'cause the pain that you've been feeling, it can't compare to the joy that's coming. So hold on, you gotta wait for the light. Press on and just fight the good.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Lizer with Lizer Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV.
Welcome back. 8 minutes before the hour, top of the hour. You ever heard of the term totality concept when it comes to war?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I had Joshua Phillips, he was on with me yesterday to explain that, and here's what he had to say.
This ties into a different form of war that America typically does not fight, but our adversaries do. You would call this gray zone warfare. You'd call it, in some cases, you call it total war. China, it's been referred to as unrestricted warfare, war without limits. And what does that mean? It means, what would you want to achieve through the act of war? You're not viewing war as merely, tanks and bombs and counting bodies in the battlefield. You're viewing war as a totality of a battle between systems. That's economy, that's software, culture, it's media, it's public opinion warfare. It's even, for example, using cyber attacks to steal intellectual property to undermine a country on the international market. It's currency warfare, like China's attempts to create an alternate world reserve currency using the BRICS dollar. Things like this is the bigger picture of what warfare represents. And based on a very interesting analysis, which is this: if you were to invade a country, if we were to invade Iran or invade another country, or if Russia were to take over Ukraine tomorrow, what do they actually get out of it, right? If you think about it from this perspective, what do they actually get out of it? If you fully conquer a country, well, you gain control of their politics, you gain control of their economy, their businesses, you gain control of the media, you gain control of the culture to an extent, and then you face a lot of domestic pushback based on public opinion, whether they support what you did or not. These are the complexities of conquering, the complexities of defeating an enemy. What do you do afterwards? The thinking of this totality of warfare concept, right? Whether it's war without limits or unrestricted warfare or gray zone warfare or what's called sometimes fifth generation warfare, is how do you achieve that exact same result and manage it better without the need of military intervention or military invasion? The simple answer is you take over the politics, you take over the businesses, You take over the influencers who inform public opinion. If you can achieve that, you take over the country without needing to fire a shot. You control their economy, you control their politics, and you control public opinion and culture. For the CCP, this is the main operation of what's called it's called the United Front Work Department, one of their large-scale operations, even tied in with the political warfare departments of their own military, which they have, by the way. It used to be called the General Political Department. They've since reorganized it. America does not fight this very well. We're very much still brute force, head on. We have too many laws of transparency to really allow us to fully fight this type of unconventional war. But what I think Trump has done is he's found a way to do it. He's found a way to do it, which is basically he does it and then is just incredibly straightforward about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think the question is, what do you want out of this? And I think that the president, if he's true to his word, what he wants out of this is for the citizens to take the country back.
Yeah.
The question is, are they prepared to do this now? And is now the time ready for them to do this? So there's still some loose ends here. So, but I think he explains them. By the way, he just gave a huge definition of socialism. And how China has been taking us over, and Russia and the other places, slowly taking us over by not firing a shot, by controlling maybe just our medical supplies out of China. And all the other things. Anyway, fascinating report. So anyway, take with you today 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. Excuse me, 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 3. There we go. Praise be to God and the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In his great mercy, he has given us new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. That's the gospel in a nutshell. Take that with you today. Stick around, and Megan Barth's coming up. Hold on for that one, followed by Dr. Jane Getz.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Do events in the world leave you confused? A world where up is down and down is up.
Mornings on the Dove knows how you feel. We're here to offer God's hope and encouragement and to help you to sort it all out.
Alerting you to the truth that the mainstream media would rather you not know.
Common sense discussions on what's really going on.
That will leave you better informed and encouraged by the gospel.
In this upside-down world,
get it straight.
Watch Mornings on the Dove weekdays.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
When I was a teenager, I remember I was taken to Johns Hopkins Hospital for surgery. I was frightened at the idea of being paralyzed for the rest of my life. I was only a kid. Well, they pushed my gurney into the old hospital lobby and parked me at the foot of this big statue. I looked up breathless. It was a massive marble figure of Christ with outstretched arms. At its base were the words of Jesus from Matthew 11. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That day I was placed directly at the feet of Jesus, and I will never forget the warm embrace of his outstretched arms. I would replay that moment so many times, it became part of my healing. Friend, today, picture yourself at the feet of Christ, because he can lift your burden.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Rejoicing in Easter, he is risen. Happy Easter from the Dove TV.
Okay, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. Always a joy and a delight when we have time to sit down with Megan Barth. She is a well-known journalist and has perspective and political commentator unlike any. That's what makes her unique, and that's why we like her. Anyway, Megan Barth is with us today. How you doing, friend? Good to see you.
Well, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you doing, Perry?
Good, good. Happy Friday Eve. There we go. We'll call it that.
Yes, that sounds great.
Okay, so, hey, what's your 30,000-foot view of the war?
Yeah, okay, so that's where we're going to start. I wasn't sure, so let's jump right into Iran. Yeah. Well, I have to say that an offensive is about time. We have been under Iran's thumb and under Iran's threats and their terror campaign since the Carter administration coordinated with the CIA to overthrow the Shah. And what we used to have before Carter was an actual Western civilized type of Middle Eastern country where women were free to walk however they wanted to walk, with who they wanted to walk, get educated. And they weren't being terrorized by Islamic radicals that are known as the mullahs, which took over Iran and turned it into a despotic hellhole, quite frankly, with billions of dollars under their thumb due to, and trillions of dollars actually, when it comes to oil. What past presidents have done, specifically Obama, is embolden the mullahs. If you recall that Obama sent pallets of cash, and a lot of people just kind of leave it there.
Right.
Obama sent them hundreds of millions of dollars of cash. End of story. That's not the end of the story. The cash that Obama sent was very important because what the CIA did before Obama sent pallets of cash in the middle of the night in order to do a clandestine operation and a money drop to Islamic terrorists was they cleaned the cash, which means that the cash that was delivered in multiple currencies could not be traced. So you have to ask yourself, why would Obama send untraceable pallets of cash to Islamic terrorists?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the answer to that question, but it's certainly a good question to ask. Perhaps somebody in the mainstream media will ask Obama someday instead of fawning over him. But nonetheless, we have been dealing with failed democratic foreign policy since 1979 in that region. And it took somebody like President Trump to launch an offensive in order to bring regime change. Now, am I a fan of regime change around the world? Absolutely not. But when it comes to Iran and the intelligence that the president received, according to Tulsi Gabbard and others, was that a strike against the United States was imminent. And I don't doubt it. They've been working on striking the United States since 1979.
Boy, there's a lot there. As you know, Tulsi Gabbard's been in the hot seat the last 2 days. And in the middle of that, one of her key people resigns. And it looks like Joe Kent could be brought up under investigation for leaking. But the secretary, or Director Gabbard's, would not answer if there was imminent threat, but said that it was the decision to make that by the president. She seemed to pass the buck. What was your take on that? Is she under a lot of pressure? What's going on there?
Yeah, I do think she's under a lot of pressure, but she's head of the DNI. I mean, she eats pressure for breakfast, I would assume.
Yeah.
And it is the president's ultimate decision under his command as commander-in-chief to make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the tactical strikes against the military, wiping out their naval fleet, doing an air offensive that completely neutered not only their military capabilities, because now they're kind of just ramshotting, tossing missiles here, tossing missiles there without what seems like a lot of direction.
Right.
Besides that, they've wiped out, I think it's the last count I heard was like 40, and it might be more, but 40 of the Iranian regime's leaders and their underlings. So keep going. We've been watching, under Obama specifically, if you remember, the Green Revolution,
right,
where the Iranians took to the streets in another mass protest like we just witnessed before this offensive, where hundreds of thousands of Iranians took to the streets, and Obama decided to ignore them and emboldened and fund the Islamic terrorists that were causing terror throughout their country. So, obviously two different perspectives on how to take out an enemy.
The president all along wants the citizens to take their country back.
Mm-hmm.
And in war, there always has to be an exit plan. And if we're not into nation building, do you think the citizens now, they were crying for the United States to come in and get involved? Remember, the president said, if we have your back, and they kept reminding him of that. So the president shows up the way he did in the last 18 days. Do you think the citizens are ready to take their country back, and can they?
Well, from the demonstrations I saw, and then with the Shah's son kind of waiting in the wings as the heir apparent, I would say, or the new leader to the Iranian regime. Let me back up. It's not the Iranian regime anymore, but the new leader of Iran.
Right.
It seems like that they are poised. When you see hundreds of thousands of people take to the streets, there's definitely a underbelly of freedom and democracy waiting in the wings, with the Shah's son waiting to take over the reins of that country.
Okay, I want to go to Joe Kent. He resigned, and now he's under FBI investigation. What do you think's going on there?
Well, Joe Kent, I don't really understand how he found his way into the administration, but here we are. It might have been a Tulsi Gabbard referral, as Tulsi Gabbard was a former Democrat, as was Joe Kent. Joe Kent in 2020 voted for Bernie Sanders. It's hard for me to believe that you go from Bernie Sanders to MAGA in a few short years. And so I thought it was a tell, to use a poker term, that Joe Kent on his way out the door, wrote this long missive against the administration. I found that a little bit unusual, specifically being former military. You just kind of take what you get from your commander in chief and then you leave. Yeah. You don't sing like a canary on your way out the door, but Joe decided to do it a different way, and I guess we'll just allow the investigation to go through, and I would suspect that he did leak information according to the reports I saw.
Okay. I only have you one segment, so I've got a lot to squeeze in here. The last poll showed that MAGA is 100% behind the president when it comes to the war. But MAGA doesn't seem to be together on other things. What do you think?
Oh, I think that is common amongst large movements. It's kind of like, when you get together for a family reunion and you got your crazy uncle over in the corner to the right, and then your cousin who, probably was in jail at some time in his life. So, it's kind of just this mishmash of people that the tent allows. You have former Democrats, you have independents, you have libertarians, maybe not so many libertarians, but nonetheless, it's not surprising. It's a very large movement, but the base of the movement remains intact. And then you have what I would consider the loudmouths in the movement, grifting off the movement, changing their beliefs due to whoever is paying them to change their beliefs.
Oh. I just found out I do have your 2 seconds. I'm slowing down here.
Oh, okay, good. Well, then I will too.
Okay. I'm sorry, Hey, I got up. 3 o'clock came early this morning. Excuse me. I want to come to Save America Act, the SAFE Act. This is so interesting to me that most Americans want this, but even some Republicans don't. What's the threat of not wanting this?
Losing their power. If you're just talking about someone like Lisa Murkowski, who won due to ranked choice voting, what a joke that voting method is, and thankfully Nevada shot that down. The people of Nevada saw right through that. But I think that some Republicans, considering, or I would consider the old guard Republicans, that would be the Mitch McConnell wing, the moderates, if you want to call it that. They've had power for so long, they don't want their apple cart tipped. And they are very happy being in the minority, or they're very happy being in the slim majority because they're still employed. They like the power that elections bring to them, and they don't want to change anything.
But voter ID, that debate, it's so amazing to me that there's even Republicans that want to vote against this. I'm still trying to scratch my head. Why?
Yeah, I mean, that's the $1 million question. I think that they had some of the Republicans that were against this had a problem with the elimination of mail-in balloting or mail-in voting. And then you have to ask why. But many states, I shouldn't say many, but there's a handful of states, especially where these Republicans are from, that like mail-in voting, and supposedly their constituents like mail-in voting too. Mail-in voting is a relatively new phenomenon. And so is voting centers. I don't know how Oregon operates, but in Nevada, as well as throughout the country, when I was growing up specifically, we had precincts.
Right.
And we would just walk down to our local library or our local gymnasium at our high school, and we would cast a ballot. And we had precincts all over the town. It was kind of neighborhood precinct based. And we would cast our ballot, and we would have elections that night. The precincts would feed into their counts into the main county, and the state would produce election results at night. Well, that night, on election night. So what we were told was that was expensive, and it took too many resources. So now we need to go to voting centers, which are these massive trailers or one location where everybody from a zip code or what have you piles into the one center and casts a ballot. Longer wait times, tens of thousands of ballots, and what could go wrong in one spot? And so that was supposed to make voting easier. It didn't. It created, I believe, a mass calamity. And what was wrong with precinct voting? There was absolutely nothing. How is a voting center any cheaper than precincts? Especially in Nevada, I just wrote, and Just the News covered specifically in Arizona, Western states, including Nevada, was sending their ballots to Arizona, the completed ballots, to Arizona for processing.
On election day?
Yes. So I have an open records request, so I'm trying to get as many details as I can about this process. But completed ballots, those could have been cast during early voting. They could have been dropped in a unsecured, unmanned drop box. They could have been issued on election day. I'm not really sure. But somebody in Nevada made the decision to send completed ballots on a truck or a plane to Maricopa County, Arizona, and have a third party process the ballots. This happened in Nevada, California, Utah. I'm not sure if Oregon was a part of that. Colorado. Many states used this third party vendor called Runback Elections to process their ballots.
That's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable because chain of custody was completely destroyed.
In Oregon, I think we are one of the oldest mail-in ballot states out there.
Yep.
And yet, just a few months ago, it was announced that our Secretary of State was going to look at voter fraud and admitted over 800,000 illegal votes were cast in the election cycle, which is a direct reflection on not only the system, but dirty voter rolls. So I've been trying to figure out, have those 800,000 names been erased? I can't find the answer to that. You know.
Have you put in an open records request, or they just haven't responded?
Just haven't responded.
Of course, that's the age-old trick. You just don't respond.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that happens. I've been waiting now over 5 days just to say, hey, we got your email. So I'll be following up today. But nonetheless, obviously there's a problem.
Yeah.
We haven't been screaming voter fraud because we're kooks or we're conspiracy theorists. When your own Secretary of State admits that 800,000 ballots were fraudulent, that means your entire election was fraudulent. That means that every single person, down to the dog catcher, if he was elected, was probably not elected fairly. Should probably not be sitting in that city council seat, let alone the Secretary of State, let alone the governor.
Yeah.
So I have been saying for years, as you know, Perry, since 2008, I've been saying this. Dirty voter rolls yield dirty elections.
Mm-hmm.
And mail-in balloting, when you have dirty voter rolls, all they do is take from the garbage, and then they send the garbage out, and then it's garbage in, garbage out, garbage out, garbage in. And that's the problem we have throughout the United States, is dirty voter rolls.
Do you think that voter ID mandated will see the light of day?
I hope so. I've been fighting for this since 2008. I think that there is a groundswell. 80%, close to 80% of the American public want voter ID. They support voter ID. We are the only westernized nation in the hemisphere that does not have some sort of validated ID in order to cast a ballot. Instead of asking me why I support voter ID, ask the Democrats and why they don't. And why the Democrats don't is because they use the old soft bigotry of low expectations and try to fool us with this canard that somehow a black person does not have an ID, or somehow a Mexican person does not have an ID. That same black person, that same Mexican person has to cash a check, probably goes to the library, buys a pack of cigarettes, buys a 6-pack of beer, has to board a plane. If they're on government welfare, you have to have an ID in order to apply for welfare. So the old, it's going to somehow harm the minority community does not pass the smell test.
Good stuff. All right.
The Democrats have to come up with a new excuse.
Boy, do they ever. All right. Excuse me. Let me take a quick break, and we're going to keep her over for one more segment. We'll be right back with Megan Barth.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous. They're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
Okay, welcome back, and always a delight to have with us journalist Megan Barth back with us today. We're talking about a lot of things here. Megan, yesterday was kind of interesting. The United States Attorney General got subpoenaed. Show up and testify. And her take on the Jeffrey Epstein files. It's interesting, as you and I have watched this, both sides, left and right, want full disclosure. That hasn't happened. All of a sudden, as more is being unredacted and made public, you're seeing people in Fortune 500 company boards all of a sudden resign, leading a company, people going out the back door. So there's something there. But to have the U.S. attorney subpoenaed to testify, that's kind of interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, she had a closed-door meeting. I think it was like in a skiff, if I'm recalling correctly, but nonetheless, it was a closed-door meeting, and many of the Democrats simply walked out without asking any questions. Well, what was the purpose of the closed-door meeting? You know, I look at the Epstein controversy and the crimes very skeptically. Do I doubt that he was trafficking women or young women, children even? No, I don't. Do I believe that everyone who talked to Jeffrey Epstein or met Jeffrey Epstein or went to dinner with Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile? No, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And what I believe the Democrats are doing, because let's be honest, the Democrats don't give two licks about human trafficking, or else they wouldn't have opened the border. They don't give two licks about the abuse of underage women by Jeffrey Epstein, who trafficked women, perhaps through his business partner Wexler, who is head of Victoria's Secret brands, etc. I don't know. They want this to destroy Trump. They don't necessarily want justice for the female victims. They want to find some thread, and it could have been a completely innocent thread, that Trump talked to Epstein, which we know he did. We also know that he banned Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago due to the reputation that Epstein had. So I'm really curious why Democrats are suddenly just gnashing their teeth, wanting to know every single sordid detail about this pedophile when they knew about this pedophile since well before Bill Clinton was in office. They've had these files for decades. Decades. And not one Democratic president, not one Democratic leader, not one Democratic loudmouth asked for these files to be unsealed, asked for justice, worked with the victims, tried to get to the bottom of it. Nothing. All of a sudden, this is one of the biggest issues for the Democratic Party, and I simply do not believe it to be a valid issue when it comes to their sudden need to find out the truth.
Okay, so the president's called for full disclosure. Alan Dershowitz has called for full disclosure. And Pam Bondi has everything to do with full disclosure. Now what?
Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I honestly, I mean, you know, there perhaps is some sort of information that would compromise XYZ. I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just release, I don't know what her fear is, but my fear is, you remember the Me Too movement?
Yeah.
Okay. It started the whole perversion of justice, meaning you were presumed guilty before being proven innocent.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to be presumed innocent before you're found guilty. This has the same feeling with that.
Interesting.
Because, like I said, the Democrats enabled human traffickers. They have looked the other way when it comes to pedophiles. they have looked the other way when it comes to children being trafficked and raped by coyotes to cross the southern border.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, they're interested in these very same issues that they accused Jeffrey Epstein of doing.
Very interesting. Well, we'll see what comes of this hearing. Like you said, if it's behind closed doors, we may never know. I don't know. I do want to shift your attention across your border there a little bit into California. By the way,
sure.
We border California too. I was born and raised there.
I was there for 20 years, and you can't build a wall enough high to keep these people out of here. But anyway.
Well, what's interesting about it is just yesterday is a little bit of an example. I bumped into somebody, a very wealthy person, who's moving all of his assets out of California. I mean, like, the reason I bumped into him, because we're at the airport, he moved a bunch of them here yesterday. The evacuation out of California is pretty amazing. It's just happening left and right. And yet Newsom is wanting to tax the rich even more. He's proud of everything goes on, and he wants to become president of the United States. They haven't fixed a thing down there, especially in the fire areas. I'm just wondering, do you think Newsom really has a chance? I wish I could reverse the camera so you could see yourself.
I wish you could see what's going through my mind right now. Like we had a bubble, like a little communication bubble.
Yeah.
So I'm the editor of the California Globe, the executive editor. So I cover California. I lived in California for 20 years. I'm also in charge of covering Nevada and California. I just wrote a story. There was a study conducted that the #1 state for Republicans fleeing from California is Nevada. I'm assuming that Oregon is probably a close second. I think it's up in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, honestly. It's just people are escaping a high tax state. And what Democrats don't seem to understand is that money moves.
Right.
And people that have money have an easier way to move it. Because they can buy a new house, they can hire a moving company, they can transfer their assets, they can do a whole bunch of creative things. And it creates this movement of money and this exodus of money. And the happiest company in California, I can tell you right now, is U-Haul. Because U-Haul is doing an absolute bang-up job of getting the people the hell out of California.
Yeah.
Newsom, I don't think he necessarily has a chance on the national scale. However, let me just preface that by saying the Nevada Democratic Party invited Newsom to Las Vegas for a fundraiser. So according to Democrats, he's doing a hell of a job. You keep going, Gavin. You make sure that you just completely destroy not only California, but destroy the country in the name of what? Social justice? Equality, which is their favorite, quality, equity.
Mm-hmm.
I love that word.
Diversity.
Yeah, diversity. And so do I think Newsom has a chance? Well, obviously he has a chance with Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
They're stupid enough to invite him to their state for a fundraiser, and maybe he raised some money for some other Democratic candidates. But Newsom is the perfect Democrat, which means that he's not very bright. He has destroyed a state. He spends other people's money like it's going to be a never-ending flow of money. And he leaves death and destruction behind him in his wake and doesn't take any responsibility for it. It's a Democrat.
That's well said. Hey, I'm out of time, but we'll get you back. Good to see you. You obviously put you obviously put some jalapeno on your cereal this morning.
And my coffee.
And your coffee. Yeah. Thanks, Megan. Good to see you. And I'm glad you're writing. You need to stay busy. Good to see you. We'll talk soon.
Oh, I am.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Finding that next great series to binge watch is fun, but your neck, shoulders, and body don't count that as me time. Hi, I'm Tamara Miller, owner of Organic Element Spa, and I invite you to put down the remote, get off the couch, and schedule yourself some real me or we time with your favorite service, like one of our many massages, couples massages, or facials. Your health, safety, and comfort are always top priority with us at Organic Element Spa. We can't wait to see you. Book your appointment today.
Panoramic Moto Tours was born really out of my passion just to ride the greatest back roads and the scenic highways in our beautiful Northwest. God put it on my heart to share the experiences and invite others. More than riding beautiful roads, it's the camaraderie and fellowship. It's hearing each other's stories. It's being mutually encouraged on our journeys of life.
Riders can book one of our ready-to-ride guided tours offering the best of Oregon or Northern California. Or book a private custom tour tailored just for your group to destinations like Glacier or Yellowstone. For more information, go to
panoramicmototours.com or call me, Nick, at 541-622-3844. When you find something you love, you just want to share it.
panoramicmototours.com. Your next adventure starts here.
It was an amazing year of growth here at the Dove. You, our viewers and partners, blessed us with a new studio, a video wall, control room, and much needed installation, heating and air conditioning. Plus, you helped us renew our tower leases so we can continue to broadcast the Dove all across our network. And from everyone here at the Dove, a huge thank you. We could have never done this without your help. We appreciate you standing with the Dove prayerfully and financially to keep the Dove encouraging and informative 24 hours a day. Okay, welcome back. And I needed the effect of Dr. Calm to be with us today, none other than our good friend Dr. Gene Getz. He is the chief editor of right here, the Life Essential Study Bible. I have one right here in my hand. And I have to tell you, it is one of the great resources of our day. If you don't have one, you need to get one. You can go to BiblePrinciples.org. You can get one there. I know that a lot of the bookstores carry them as well. And what makes this Bible so special is that Dr. Getz, through the years, has recorded videos of all of the leading points of the various principles in this Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Over 1,500 QR codes. And so if you have a QR reader on your phone or your tablet, you can run that QR reader over that, and then Dr. Getz pops up in a video and walks you through that principle of Scripture. And I tell you, you need to have one of these. Brother Gene, good to see you, friend. How are you, buddy?
Hey, doing really good, Perry. Yes.
You're looking good. I was hoping today, but I don't. But I'll tease you with this. I have a very special something for you. So, but I can't tell you what it is. But hopefully in the next couple of days I will, and I'll call you and let you know what it is. But our crew,
is this my birthday? Is this for my birthday?
Listen, we can make it up. When's your birthday?
Well, I just had it, and I turned 94. Would you believe? March 15th.
So you and I are March babies.
I'm a March baby.
I'm March 6th. You're the 15th.
Oh, how about that?
94. Congratulations, Gene. God bless you, friend.
Thank you.
Well, okay, we'll call it a birthday present. I was hoping it'd be done, but it's not. But I think you'll like it.
Great.
Good to see you. Well, anyway, we're going to have Dr. Getz walk us through a principle found in the Gospel of John, chapter 11, and talking about our eternal hope. I have to say one thing, Gene. I think today the anxiety of the world, not just the culture, but the world, especially with the war going on, isn't it interesting? More and more people are thinking about eternity. Is there a God? Is there a heaven? Will I live somewhere else? When I die, is that it? Or do I come back as a banana? I mean, people are asking eternal questions these days. So this is very, very appropriate that you would walk us through the principle of our eternal hope there found in the Gospel of John, chapter 11.
Well, Perry, you're just throwing me a curveball because I was looking forward to another principle from Matthew, but
we can go with yours then. So Paulina made a mistake.
Okay. You'll be interested in this principle in Matthew.
Okay,
if
let's
it's
do
all
it.
right. The one I have in front of me, I don't know how we got confused here, but
hey, it's Thursday. We're entitled to one. Go for it. What chapter?
Okay.
What chapter of Matthew in?
Okay, it's Matthew chapter 27.
Okay.
And it's principle 57. And you'll be rather interested in this principle in view of your previous conversation.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, here it goes. It's the power of self-interest.
Ooh.
We should not be surprised when some political leaders purposely make wrong and even evil decisions to protect their own self-interest. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, my stars, that hurts. Walk us through it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's really based on Pilate, and probably out of all of the political leaders in the world, he demonstrates this principle in his own life, because he knew that Jesus was innocent. He knew that Herod had indicated that he was innocent. He knew that the religious leaders were calling for his crucifixion because they were threatened. He knew that his wife had a dream that warned against this righteous man, she called him. And we know from the background, the larger historical background on this story of Pilate is that previously he had gotten into difficulty because he was responsible for this Jewish community in Judea, and he knew that the emperor had warned him about riots, and he didn't want another riot. And it says right in the text that he was afraid of a riot. And so based on all of these factors, knowing the truth, he made this horrible decision to turn Jesus over to be crucified and to actually wash his hands and not take responsibility for the decision that he had made. And so, it's an incredible illustration of a political leader. He made a very evil decision to protect his own interests. So that'll preach.
Boy, will it ever. I think we're stunned when it's so obvious when people do that. What should be our response when we see this happen?
Well, it's interesting that as I was reflecting on this, I have some thoughts myself, but in some respects, I respect you as a political commentator more than I do myself. Oh, no. And I was going to throw the question back to you in terms of how do we handle what we know are tremendous violations of this principle in the political arena. In fact, there's one word that goes along and is used very, very frequently in relationship to politics, and that's the word lie. Lying.
Right.
And so as Christians, I think we do have biblical guidelines in relationship to what we should do as Christians living in our particular culture.
The pressure today of people who are in public service is unlike anything we've ever witnessed before. And we're seeing good people be compromised under this pressure. But I think to your point is, if we don't have a firm resolve of what it is to be a Christian, what it is to have a personal relationship with Christ, and to be honest. I think we're shocked at how soon you could possibly be compromised. And I don't know, Gene, I think we're shocked when we see even our leaders in Christianity compromise and then go on as if it isn't happening, and then when they get caught, everybody's surprised. I don't know, I guess it's a part of human nature we can't seem to get a handle on.
Well, it is a part of human nature, there's no question, and of course we have this incredible illustration of it 2,000 years ago, and of course that is reflective of the political arena throughout history. But you know, as a nation that has been built upon the Hebrew Christian ethic, it's even more surprising, you know, that where we have the Ten Commandments that are embedded,
right,
you know, in the Supreme Court in 3 particular locations and right above the door, that says, "Thou shalt not lie." Well, it's a real interesting contradiction in relationship to life and government. But I think as believers, Perry, you know, one of the things, and as I go back through this, I think, what are the biblical priorities? Well, Paul established the first priority in his letter to Timothy when he says we are to pray for all of those in authority.
Right.
I mean, prayer is a priority, and I think we tend to neglect that. I know I neglect it in my own personal life, but as a pastor, I try to take that very seriously as a body of believers to pray for all of our political leaders. And of course, Paul was thinking of praying for even Nero and Herod and, you know, these governors, and they were evil people. And so, you know, we need to really be praying for our government leaders. Another thought is that we need to be good, honest citizens. We need to take advantage of the opportunity we have in our culture, still have in our culture, to vote. And of course, that's an issue that is being discussed in terms of keeping that honest. And then third, we need godly political leaders. And I was reflecting on my good friend Phil King, who's a senator here in the state of Texas, and his witness, his strong witness, and our lieutenant governor here in the state of Texas, and his strong witness. So we do have political leaders that are strong believers, and we need to really pray for them and pray that we'll have more men like them, men and women like them, who will be true and honest and stand for righteousness and demonstrate righteousness. And we definitely, we need that. I think of Phil, you'll be interested in this, that he just texted me several months ago that he has read through all of the principles, all 1,500, and he's watched every video. But not only that, he has given out probably 200 of my Life Essentials Study Bible to other politicians, where he sits down with them over breakfast or lunch, gives them a Bible and shows them how to use it. You know, it's really refreshing to know someone like that, who's in our government. We need more. And there are more believers than we realize.
There are.
We just need to really pray that they'll be upright and honest.
Well, I was thinking of the scripture in Timothy that it exhorts us to pray for government leaders. And I think what happens when we get disappointed by one, we don't do that. We just kind of take a cynical response and walk away from it, when really we are to stop and pray. By the way, I remember playing the video not too long ago of you there in the Texas legislature being recognized, you and your sweetheart, but also the fact that you gave every one of those legislators one of your Bibles. That was so beautiful, Gene. That was just outstanding.
Well, it was an exciting opportunity and unexpected privilege and very humbling.
Oh. Well, good to see you, friend. I have a belated birthday present coming to you, and I'll call you here once it's done so we can talk about it on the phone.
Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Well, let me say to our viewers and listeners, go to BiblePrinciples.org. That is the website. You can download the app there, which is one way you can have this wonderful resource. Or you can order one of the Bibles there, and they come in a variety of ways. They also have a Spanish edition now, which is just outstanding. And if it's not there, look for it in your local bookstores. But BiblePrinciples.org, that's the place. God bless you, Jan. Good to see you, friend. Sorry about the confusion. Sorry about the confusion, but hey.
Okay. Thank you. We
we did it. Okay.
All right.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Lizer with Lizer Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
You are invited to the 2026 Access Senior Fair, Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X. Over 80 vendor booths offering helpful resources for seniors and their families. Try your luck at a round of bingo complete with prizes. All are welcome at the largest free and fun senior resource fair in Southern Oregon. We'll see you Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X.
It was an amazing year of growth here at the Dove. You, our viewers and partners, blessed us with a new studio, a video wall, control room, and much needed installation, heating and air conditioning. Plus, you helped us renew our tower leases so we can continue to broadcast the Dove all across our network. And from everyone here at the Dove, a huge thank you. We could have never done this without your help. We appreciate you standing with the Dove prayerfully and financially to keep the Dove encouraging and informative 24 hours a day. Okay, welcome back, and I want to hurry up here because I only have a few moments, but I am so honored to have with us today Witten Hall. He's the social media director for Breitbart News. He's also the distinguished fellow with the Government Accountability Institute, former visiting fellow there at the Hoover Institute. He's authored and collaborated on 27 books, including New York Times bestsellers, but his latest book is Hit the Big Time. I mean, it is all over the news. Entitled Code Red, The Left, the Right, China, and the Race to Control AI. There's the picture of the cover of the book. You probably have seen that on some website or some social media. It's everywhere. And you go AICodeRedBook.com is the landing site, AICodeRedBook.com. Witten, good to see you, friend. How are you?
Having me.
Wow, what an honor to have you, and I only have a short time. First of all, congratulations. Your book is really, this is amazing. I mean, I've seen a lot of books go, but boy, this one's really happening out there, so congratulations. What led you to do this? What triggered you?
Well, you know, Perry, I've written, as you mentioned, many books, but this one actually I felt very called and personally led to write. I prayed about it quite a bit. And the reason why is I think we have to really understand what's about to happen, both the upside as well as the challenges with artificial intelligence And I think it's going to touch just about every part of our lives, from whether we see indoctrination or education for our children, whether we see our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines come home alive or deceased on a battlefield. And I also think there are a lot of existential moments of crisis of meaning that are coming for people of faith as this AI technology starts to take on in ways that perhaps we did not realize. I think there's going to be positives, many, but there's going to be a lot of landmines we have to navigate. So this was one where I said I felt like I needed to come out from behind the ghostwriting shadows of my career and actually put out this message. So I spent 2 years deep diving into artificial intelligence, and the book has 80 pages of endnotes, 850 endnotes. It is exhaustive. Because I really wanted to give people the information they need because of the urgency of the moment.
All right, a lot here. We got a little time to unpack, but I'll have to get you back. But you also, one of the big things you communicate here is that AI is not just another technology. It's much bigger. What is it?
Perry, it's really a political power, because it's the power to be able to erase or create jobs, to be able to affect the type of education that children are get with AI tutors. We're seeing this rise of AI companions, or so-called AI girlfriends, that are affecting human relationships to the tune of millions of people. And then right now, literally as we're sitting here, the AI use in the AI warfare space as it relates to Iran and the Maduro raid we saw in Venezuela. So what we're realizing is it's going to affect every part of our lives, and we've got to just be ready and prepared with the right knowledge so that we can seize the upside and mitigate the negatives.
What's the yellow flag you're waving for people of faith?
For people of faith, you really need to understand, and I have a whole chapter on something called transhumanism. This is very different from the transgender issue. Transhumanism is trying to change us beyond humans with merging of human and machine to reach something that they call the singularity. Right now, there are people setting up AI churches to worship AI as a deity. You are seeing confessional booths change from people of faith inside or church leadership to actually confessing to AI avatars in some of the most blasphemous things you can imagine. AI Jesus is actually trending right now, and they're using that. There's so many things, and in the final chapter of Code Red, I lay out for people of faith what we need to be aware of so that we can shepherd and guide our young people, our children, our grandchildren, and ourselves and our communities and our churches, so that we understand the complexity of how this is coming.
Thank you for including that in your book. Thank you. I realize that's probably part of your call to do this, but thank you for doing it. Let me ask you this. There's great concern about Google and AI. Seems to be getting a lot of comment lately. What's your take on this?
So you're right. Part of the reason why you're seeing Code Red everywhere is we smashed this hornet's nest. One of the things I did was to a deep dive into Google Gemini. That is their AI. And I asked it to look at the 100 U.S. senators currently and decide to assess which, or if any, have violated their hate speech policies. You'll be shocked, Perry, to know that they found 7 senators, all Republicans, 0 Democrats, and then in addition, it also made up information and thought that Vice President Vance, as well as Secretary of State Rubio, were still sitting senators and not in their current position. This is outrageous. Our federal government gives billion-dollar contracts to Google, and they have anathematized half the values of half the nation against conservative or right-thinking Americans. And so when you have that kind of political bias, we have to understand that we should not have to subsidize with our tax dollars the companies that have completely aligned themselves against the values that half the nation share. They have the right to make a biased AI, but we also should have the right to not have to fund it with our tax dollars. And I think that's the stakes here. And it's getting a lot of uproar. 3 U.S. senators who were targeted by this revelation have been speaking out about the Code Red bombshell revelation. Senator Marsha Blackburn, Senator Tom Cotton as well, and Senator Rick Scott of my home state of Florida.
Yeah, I've been watching their comments. Hopefully they'll heed the call and stop the funding.
I think it's only fair because President Trump in his AI action plan said woke AI, ideologically biased AI, should not get federal procurement dollars, otherwise known as federal contracts. That's just unreasonable. If you're going to politically weaponize your product, then you shouldn't ask for all Americans to have to fund it on either side, quite frankly.
Yeah, well said. To that point, the president's been right out front that he wants America to be the lead on AI. What's your take on that, and do you think we will be with China in the shadows?
Brilliant question, Perry. Yeah, we have to be, because the national security implications are very serious. China in 2017 laid out and decided that they, by 2030, we're only 4 years away, wanted to be the global dominant power in AI. And the reason why that matters is for national security. If you have an AI that is far and away the best in the world at things like code hacking, encryption, cybersecurity, hacking of infrastructure, hacking of missile systems, one military power will gain enormous battlefield advantage technologically. So whether we want to be in this race or not, we are. So President Trump, Vice President Vance done a great job on leading at the top. My concern is that we're not having enough grassroots conversation about how it's going to affect everyday Americans beyond just that, because obviously we hear all this talk about job displacement, AI and jobs. We hear it in the education world, how it's going to affect children's critical thinking skills. We hear it in the human relationships discussion with so-called AI girlfriends and so forth. So it has a very, very big web. And I think most people don't realize you already use AI. 99% of us do, because it's baked into our weather apps, into our streaming services for home entertainment, to our GPS for our navigation. We're already using it, but 64% of Americans don't even realize when they're using it. So if we're already using it, we should probably learn to do it well, if not for us, but for our kids and grandkids, so we can shepherd and guide them.
Is Siri AI?
Yes, that is a voice assistant powered by AI. And one of the things that's interesting about that is just recently, Google and Apple did a deal. So this woke AI that I exposed with that the senators are talking about, Gemini, they did a deal so that Gemini will be powering your AI Siri voice assistant. So you're going to have bias coming to a phone near you.
Thank you, friend. I'm sorry we don't have more time. I'm going to get you back. Can I get you back?
Of course.
Okay, AICodeRedBook.com, that's the website, AICodeRed.book.com. You see this all over the place. He has really hit a nerve. It's everywhere. Congratulations, Witten. Let's stay in contact, and God bless you, friend, and congratulations. Well done.
Thank you so much, Perry. Greatly appreciate you.
All right, see you later.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter, and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social.